Hello, welcome back to the London Aquatics Centre for day 2 of the GB Aquatics Swimming Championships. The athletes have been arriving here, they're ready to go. Plenty more Olympians and Paralympians back in the pool today as we bring you more live racing. Yesterday we had British records rattled, World Championship spots confirmed and world records smashed. This man will be hoping to do that as well. Let's do it all again, shall we? Hello, welcome back for day 2 of the GB Aquatics Championships. We are poolside rather. There's no pitch over here. It's just lots of water and it is also very hot, like I keep saying, but I'm starting to adjust to the climate, I think, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We are on day 2. If you missed day 1, you can catch up on the Aquatics GB YouTube channel. We've got a highlight show there and plenty of clips. We had so much going on yesterday, but we have got a cracker for you today as well. Let's talk through how the finals work, because we've got a lot of finals to get through. We've just had the B finals earlier this evening, but coming up, we've got the British final, which is the top 8 from the heats. That is where we'll see our British champions crowned, as well as the junior final. That's a bit before that. And also we've got the para finals. Now the top 8 from the heats go into that, and that is based on points. So it is all very exciting. We've got loads coming up. Let's show you what is coming up on day 2. So this is what's happening. We've got the men's 50-metre breaststroke, the women's 1500 freestyle, the men's 200-metre butterfly, the women's 400-metre IM, the men's 400-metre IM, and then we've got the women's 100-metre backstroke, and that one is absolutely jam-packed. Let me tell you, that competition is stacked full of talent. I can welcome now to the sofa Dan Jervis, double Olympian, and Paul Noble, 15-time Paralympic medalist. That's not bad, that, Paul. I can't get used to it every time I say it. It's stunning.
People keep telling me that this week. Yeah, I can hardly believe it myself. It's a long time ago, Betty. Yeah.
How did you find day 1, Paul?
It was great, yeah. It was absolutely fantastic. We had absolutely everything. We had that world record from Faye Rogers, which was the absolute highlight. We had some people qualifying for Singapore, both for the able-bodied World Championships and also for the Para World Championships. So a couple of times achieved by the para athletes. So it's good across the board. I think we're looking good after day 1.
We are indeed. Well, let's take a look at the men's 400-metre free then. Dan Jervis, you were looking forward to this event so much yesterday, and it was mainly because of this man, James Guy, and what you knew he had in the tank.
Yeah, now, what we saw yesterday was classic Jimmy. He went out like a rocket. That first 200, he was on his British record, I think. And
he was, for the first 300. He was under the British record,
well,
yeah.
I mean, that says it all. I think that just says as well how painful that last 100 was. Now, on a 400, that last 100 can feel as if you're literally dragging a piano behind you.
Maybe a piano, maybe a skip full of cement. It must feel horrific. He did say, and I did speak to him afterwards, and he said that last 100 he needs to work on, but he of course hasn't done that event for a very long time, so I guess he was sort of getting used to it. Yeah,
he was getting used to it, but also I think, like, it was probably really good for him to just go out and see what he can do. You know, obviously he's an amazing 200 freestyle. He's an Olympic champion in the relay. So it's really good to see what he can do in the 400. Now, that was his first 400 freestyle in a long time, and he was that good. So just think what it's going to be like when he does a few of them. Yeah, well, he's also competing tonight, but we'll get onto that in a moment. But the women's 200-metre fly was an absolute cracker last night. It was a cracker. That is the best way to describe it. Now, Kiana got under the qualification time. She was the first person to do it yesterday. She pushed through that last 50 like an absolute machine. Now, we can't forget how good Emily Richards was as well. I thought she was going to win it. Yeah, I know, but Kiana's last 50 was just insane. It was indeed. Paul, can we talk about Poppy Maskell, please? Because she had a brilliant evening as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Poppy Maskell, 3 times a Paralympic gold medalist from Paris. She's not been on the best of form this year so far. She took a little bit of an extended break after the Paris game. She's back this year, though. And last night, well, she absolutely stepped up when it mattered to get that qualification time for Singapore. I saw her in the foyer after her race, and she said, well, thanks to Louise Fiddis for pulling her through. Louise Fiddis went out really, really strong. Poppy Maskell was on her shoulder, came past her, at the closing stages, and both of them got those Singapore times, so it was a fantastic result for both of them.
We're going to be seeing Poppy later this evening as well. But Dan, the women's 200 metre free was also a brilliant spectacle. Freya Colbert won that one. But let's take a look at this, because her head coach, Dave Hemmings, was watching from the sidelines, and it must have been very nervy for him.
Good reaction. She looks strong. 44, spot on. It's good. It's a good second 50. Come on, girls. Start pushing now. The weight's still good at 44, so it's good. Come on, let's go. Come on, Abby. Come on, girls. Push, 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 push. Come on, get in. Come on. Oh, it's good. Good. Good.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant indeed. Okay, so this is how selection works then for the World Championships in Singapore. The first person that finishes under the time that they need to get, they will get that ticket to Singapore. They'll be on the plane. For second place, if they get second and they're under the time, they have a great chance in front of the selectors that are here tonight. Remember what happens with the relays, the top four in the 100 and 200 free, like we saw last night, will be on the way to Singapore as well. We've got discretionary picks as well, so factor that in when you're sort of writing down all of your notes. And remember, there is a max team of 30, and there are a couple of athletes that are pre-selected: Matt Richards, Duncan Scott, James Guy, Tom Dean and Ben Proud, because they all won medals in Paris. This is what it looks like from the Paris selection policy side. It's a little bit simpler, actually. 24 places in total up for grabs to go to Singapore. Up to 18 selected at these championships. They must go under the time in the heats or the finals. They've got two opportunities to do it. No one is going to be automatically selected, and all athletes under the time will be up for consideration. Well, I'm pleased to say that joining me on the sofa now is Karen Thorpe, the head of performance of Artistic Swimming. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. We've just seen a brilliant spectacle over here, which we're going to play out in a second. But because under Aquatics GB, it's not all just about swimming. There's lots of other sports under that umbrella, and Artistic Swimming is one of them. Tell us a little bit about it, Karen.
Yeah, so obviously Artistic Swimming is part of the Aquatics family and part of Aquatics GB, and we've had a great start to our season following on from the success in Paris. So yeah, it's been great. We've got lots of competitions coming up, so we're here tonight to just give a glimpse of what we do.
For anyone that doesn't know, you talk about that success in Paris. It's because GB won their first ever medal at the Olympics. And it was an unbelievable spectacle. But let's take a look at what we've just seen here at the London Aquatics Centre. Talk us through this, Karen, because...
Okay, so these guys have been working since September on this routine, and they had a little bit of a problem at the start because the music started before they were actually ready. So they had to kind of improvise into the routine, which I think shook them a little bit. But essentially, they're doing a great job. We've spent a lot of hours working on the routine, but they're prepping up ready for a big season this year for the first time ever. So it's a big step up, as you say, after Paris especially.
Yeah, making history in Paris was amazing. But the thing that really grabs me about this sport is that artistic swimmers have to have a lung capacity of a deep sea diver, don't they? Because they are under the water for such a long time. How do you begin training that?
Yeah, it's funny because we don't necessarily do a lot of apnea work. Like a lot of people think we spend hours, swimming underwater. We don't. We literally just build it up really gradually. So when the athletes are young, we start them just learning how to scull upside down, and then that just gradually builds up more lung capacity. So they just sort of a natural progression into what these guys were doing when they're underwater for probably about 30 seconds at a time.
It's amazing, isn't it? The lung capacity, the strength that they need, but then also the flexibility and the rhythm. How do they hear the music when they're underwater?
So we've got an underwater speaker that plays, it should be exactly the same tempo above and below the surface. And sometimes when we're in a big arena like this, sometimes that's a little bit complicated because sometimes there's a little discrepancy in the timing, so they need to be aware of that. But essentially, yeah, they can hear the music perfectly well underwater.
And what's the future? What do you want to achieve? Because obviously that historic medal in Paris is that first step, but what's next?
Well, you know, we would love to be able to go and take part in the team event, and that's really our goal, is to go to LA with a team. They just announced that, unfortunately, mixed duets aren't in the Olympics, which is really sad for us, but what's great is that boys and men, they can take part in the team event, so we would like Alanju to then be swimming with us in the team whilst we fight for a place at the Olympics with the boys.
Oh, brilliant. Well, it's very, very exciting, and I'm sure everybody will be keeping an eye on everything that you guys do. Thank you very much, Karen, and enjoy tonight. Hope you get time to watch it all. Thank you. Okay, here is what is coming up on day 2 then. We've got a lot going on. We've got the men's 50-metre breaststroke, the women's 1500-metre freestyle, the men's 200-metre butterfly, the women's 400-metre IM, the men's 400-metre IM, and the women's 100-metre backstroke. And the guests, guys, keep coming. It's like a conveyor belt here. We're moving quickly. We're keeping it going. Hannah Miley, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much.
What's new with you?
Well, I'm currently down here with my daughter and my husband, so it's nice being on the dry side and being able to watch and get excited about swimming.
It must be quite strange for you being on the dry side.
It is a little bit. I kind of have pangs of missing the racing, but actually being a spectator has been fantastic to watch, and actually just getting excited and behind the swimmers. Yeah.
What are you most excited for tonight then?
I am probably going to be a bit biased. The 400 IM, my main race, and yeah, it's my favourite race.
Well, it's your favourite race because you're also the British record holder, aren't you? So, do you remember much about setting that record?
Yes, it was in 2009. It hurt an awful lot.
I can imagine.
But yeah, it was a great race to be part of because we were trying to compete, trial for the World Championships. And yeah, I completely didn't expect it to be that time. So it was an amazing race.
Well, let's have a look at the women's 400 IM that is going to be happening this evening. It is stacked. We've had the heats this morning. What did you think?
I think Freya Colbert and Abby Wood were looking very controlled, but youngster Emily Smith coming through, I think she's fantastic opportunity for her to be at either side, well, in the middle of world champion and, you know, Olympian, and she's got a fantastic opportunity on her hands, so it could be a great race tonight.
I love watching Freya Colbert. She's one of my favourite. This is her swimming in the heat. She smashed it yesterday. What do you think she can achieve tonight?
I definitely think we can see her improve her backstroke and her freestyle times. We know she's a phenomenal freestyler off that 200 free race last night. But I think Abby Wood's going to challenge her on that breaststroke. So it could be a real fight to the finish. But I definitely think Freya's got that strength with the finishing speed on freestyle.
We know she's going to Singapore because she sorted all of that out last night. So will that be pressure off for her? Or is she going to be thinking about, I don't know, maybe your British record?
Well, there's that, definitely. It'll be good to see it go. I mean, that's why British records are there, or records are there to be broken. So it'll be fantastic to be here to see it go. Definitely the pressure's off her shoulders, so she might be more relaxed, a bit more confident. We'll just have to wait and see.
What about the men's 400-metre IM, though? Because that is also really interesting. Let's talk about Charlie Hutchinson first. Here he is in the screen now. He had a brilliant heat, didn't he?
He had a fantastic heat. He was saying he's really quite excited with what he can do. He does have to drop 3 seconds from his PB in order to make the team.
See, when you say that to me, that sounds like an awful lot of time. Can he do it?
I think he can. He's got a great opportunity. He has a lane, he has a chance. It's the finals. The atmosphere will help him step up, and he's next to Max, so that also will help him with his race plan.
Max, there he is, that man that you can see right now. He's going to hope to hold and carry on and win that British title once again. He is an incredibly good athlete, and he looked so calm and controlled out there earlier.
He is. He's such an experienced athlete. We all love Max. It was so heartbreaking with his 4th place in Paris. However, his resiliency and tenacity to get back in and still prove that he is Britain's best medley swimmer is fantastic to see. Will we see a British record tonight? Last year he was able to do it. You never know. He might have something to prove and pull out the bag.
Yeah, he keeps breaking that British record, doesn't he? He can't stop doing it. He did it last year and he did it in Paris as well, so maybe we'll be seeing it again. Just very, very quickly for me, how hard is the 400 IM?
Very hard. For me, I feel like you work every muscle group possible in your body, so I put it up there as being one of the toughest races, but again, I'm a bit biased.
You are indeed. Right, I hope you enjoy this evening. The athletes for the first race are coming out now. It is getting loud in this arena. We are ready to go. It is all very exciting. Stick with us because we've got some brilliant racing coming up at Aquatics GB Championships. I'm going to throw you now to our commentators, Vandy Jameson and Dan Jervis.
Brilliant swimming, Betsy. We absolutely do. This, the first event it is, the junior final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke. We've got William Tonks in lane 4, Josh Inglis in 5. There we go, there's the full lineup. Beadle, Steadman, Minto swimming really well here. Massive lifetime best on the 100 breaststroke. And then Tonks and Inglis, the two big guys right in the centre. Robinson, Williams and James. Can't wait for this one. 6 lifetime bests set to qualify for this final. Exactly what you've got to do if you've got to swim in the big races here.
Yeah, Will Tonks won the 100 breaststroke junior final last night, so we know he's on fire already this week.
So Tonks won the junior final last night on the 100. Josh Inglis was in the big final, the A final of the 100 metres breaststroke. This the 50.
Take your marks.
Just 1 length breaststroke, a new Olympic event, and I'm sure in future this event is going to go so much further. It really is going to go quick. Beautiful start in lane number 4 from William Tonks. My word, he's quick down this first 25, flying down this first 30. Now, can he bring it back? Josh Inglis in the white hat closer to is starting to come back at him. This is very good indeed. And look at the black hat there of William Tonks in 4 of Repton. This is a great swim. Is he going to spot his finish? He does. 28.22. That is excellent. A new lifetime best, winning the junior final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke is William Tonks of Repton. Cracking swim from him. Second in lane number 5, it was Josh Inglis. 28.69. Right on his lifetime best. In fact, tied for his lifetime best. Second time he's done that time today. Amazing. And Saxon Minto third. But that first 25, he just set off and held it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, on a 50, everything counts. You haven't got time to mess up with something. And it looks like whatever William's working on in training, I would encourage him to keep doing it, because he is nailing it. He's on fire this week.
Well, he really is. That was a cracking swim. William Tonks wins the junior final of the men's 50 breaststroke, 28.22. New lifetime best for him and for Josh Inglis in second from Mount Kelly. And Minto's on fire this week as well, 28.85 in third. Tie for 4th as well. Wow. Wow, straight into that super quick 50 metres breaststroke for men. And there's a couple of juniors in the big final as well, in the A final. It really is. In fact, the fastest seed, Max Morgan, is a junior, also Philip Navaki, so there's 2 more juniors in that. And straight into the multi-classification 50 metres breaststroke final, the para-athletes here. And just 1 athlete, Paul.
And here he comes, Harvey Phillips, the only athlete in this 50 metres breaststroke multi-classification. The SB3 athlete. 50 metres breaststrokes only conducted for the swimmers in the more severe end of the impairment range. Harvey Phillips, Manchester Performance Centre, is the only one to take the start here. S1 to S10, of course, those with physical impairments, with S1 being the most severe impairment and S10 being the least impaired. Harvey is in the SB3 classification. As you can see, he's affected in all 4 limbs. Saw Ellie Chalice last night. So a very similar race on his own. Harvey Phillips. What can this young man do? Just 20 years of age. Can he be inspired by this huge crowd here at the London Aquatics Centre? And who is trying to break his way into the GB senior team. Singapore World Championships. Might be a little bit of a tough ask on the individual events. You never know about relay teams, though. Harvey Phillips now on his own. Can he be inspired by this crowd? Can he dip under the 1 minute mark? British record is held by Lyndon Longhorn. That stands at 57.94. But can Harvey Phillips get under the 1 minute mark and get close to that British record? He's really being inspired by this crowd. He's gone out very, very fast indeed. That high turnover As I said, he's affected in all 4 limbs, but he really makes the most of the limbs that he's got. He's been almost a fixture on the GB scene. He was a junior. He's come through the ranks, now trying to break his way into the senior team. And this is a very high turnover from Harvey Phillips. Let's hope he can keep this going. He'd be on for a cracking time if he can. Coming in now to almost the last 10 metres here. Just tying up very, very slightly, Harvey Phillips now as the clock ticks over at the 50-second mark. He's in to the red zone now, into the last 5. I think he's going to be over the 1 minute mark, but not by much. Huge reception here from the crowd, and Harvey Phillips into the wall now in 103.76. Well done, Harvey Phillips. Within a second of what he did this morning. So Harvey Phillips, watch out for this young man in the future. He could be an absolute star. He is really trying to make his way through the ranks. He's in the world top 20 in this event, and there's a lot of experienced campaigners in this SB3 classification. A lot of old hands in there. And Harvey Phillips, the youngster, might just be shaking it up against the more experienced swimmers as he moves through the ranks. Let's hope so. Harvey Phillips, one of the world's very best in this SB3 classification. The only swimmer in this multi-classification, 50 metres breaststroke, and Harvey Phillips will take the title in 103.76. As he exits the water again. Another huge round of applause for Harvey Phillips. Well, let's hope we see more of this young man. Him and Ellie Chalice are real standard bearers for the more severe impairments in British swimming at the moment. And let's hope just appearing on this live stream here at the British Championship might inspire some more people to get involved in swimming. Harvey Phillips shown it can be done. The more severely impaired swimmers. And Harvey is now on poolside with Betty.
Yeah, I'm joined by Harvey Phillips now. Everybody in London, give it up for him. Harvey, what was it like swimming there with this sort of reaction here in the arena?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, you know. All eyes on me kind of thing, and yeah, it's enjoyable.
Look, you are in the top 20 in the world in this event. Can you just give us an idea of what it takes to do what you've just done?
It's just been a real hard work over the past few years, and yeah, last few months been pretty grim. With like classification stuff not going the way we want it to, and like been pretty much plagued with back injuries since December. So yeah. It
is really, really tough. What are you expecting to achieve this season?
I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be fair, whether this is the end of the road for me or not. I'm not 100% sure, to be fair.
We hope not, Harvey, but we know one thing for sure, and that is that you are British champion. So everybody, give it up for Harvey.
Thank you.
Well, we certainly hope that it's not the end of the road for Harvey Phillips. Would love to see him go on. I speak to him yesterday. I told him, you're a long time retired, Harvey. You keep going as long as you can, as long as you're enjoying it. And it's going to be a special medal presenter. It's the old man, his dad, giving Harvey Phillips the medal. His dad's been a constant supporter over the years of Harvey. We see him at all the para competitions, and there we go. That's the Harvey Phillips that we know and love. And let's hope we see him again. He'll be on later on the week. And let's hope we see him at future competitions. His dad waiting for him here as he gets off the podium. A great moment for Harvey Phillips, a British champion. Well done, Harvey. Well done, Dad, for those presentations.
So now the competitors coming out for the big final, the A final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke. That was Dominic Poling coming out from Mid-Sussex Marlins. There's Rowan Smith in lane number 1, so Poling will be in lane 8, Rowan Smith in lane 1. In 7, it's Charles Hallett of Guernsey. Great to see him over and swimming so well. He was 5th in the B final of the 100 metres breaststroke. He's made the big final here. 6th fastest seed into the A final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke. Philip Mavaki, one of 2 juniors in this men's 50 metres breaststroke final. Won bronze on the 100. And 4 guys from the 100 metres breaststroke final here. Rory Dixon was 5th in that final. Mavaki was 3rd, he's in lane 2. Dixon in 6. Lewis Fraser, well, only made the B final of the 100, but 3rd fastest in to this big final of the 50 metres breaststroke. What a final this is going to be. The winner of that 100 metres breaststroke, Greg Butler, not swimming the 50 here. 59.98, delighted for him, sub 60 seconds. Archie Goodburn of Edinburgh University, 4th on the 100, just missed out on the medals there. 2nd fastest seed now on this 50, what can he do? And Max Morgan, what can he do on this 50? Silver on the 100, just missed out on going sub 60 seconds for that 100 metres breaststroke, and I've got to say, I thought he had it just on the finish. Just did an extra tiny little bit of a stroke, and I think that cost him, but it's going to be great to see how this works. Well, it is an Olympic event. It's been at the World Championships the last 25 years, but now it's been included in the Olympic programme. Very exciting indeed, Dan.
Very exciting. It opens up a window to so many more athletes. I think they have the perfect person to look up to as well, Adam Peaty.
And he's going to be back, and he's declared himself all ready for that. 3 years out. He's taking a year out this year, but in 3 years' time in LA, wouldn't it be great to see Peaty come back and win another breaststroke gold? Already won 2 golds and a silver on the 100 metres breaststroke at the Olympics. Gold in Rio, gold in Tokyo, silver by hundreds in Paris. Literally, was it 200s? This, the final of the men's 50 breaststroke. Max Morgan in 4, Archie Goodburn in 5.
Take your marks.
Just 1 length breaststroke. It is the final of the men's 50 metres breaststroke at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Very good start indeed from Archie Goodburn of Edinburgh University in 5, sorry. He was 4th on the 100 metres. Now starting to come through is Morgan. Also going very well up there is Roman Smith of Sheffield. Starting to really charge now, though, is Max Morgan. And this is a great swim from him. Is he going to get the finish? Much better finish there. And he wins it 27.69 for Max Morgan. Just on his lifetime best 27.52. So very good swim from him. 27.69 wins it. 7 100s back was Archie Goodburn. 7 100s, so close. Goodburn gets the silver and Navaki the bronze. Wow, that was close. 6.9 to 8.7, 18 100s splitting the top 3.
Yeah, what a celebration for Max as well. He's so happy. He's obviously worked so hard for that. I'm really happy for Archie as well. You know, he came 4th in the 100 breaststroke last night. He had something to prove, and I'm so glad he got back on that podium tonight for the silver.
Well, some great swimming again, and look at that, he just finished pretty much perfectly. There we go. Frustration from that 100, I think, because I think he had a cracking 100 last night, and the future's so bright for 17-year-old Max Morgan from Reed School. Morgan wins gold at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Archie Goodburn just behind him, 7 100s the silver, and Navaki the bronze. And let's hear what those medalists have got to say to Betty.
Well, here are our medalists, and Max, I'm going to come and speak to you first, because yesterday, I know you weren't overly happy with your performance, but wow, you've done it today.
Yeah, I'm really happy, especially after what happened yesterday. I managed to pick myself up, and yeah, I'm happy to get my hands on the wall first.
What was your tactic out there?
Be a bit more relaxed than yesterday, because I feel like I had a lot of pressure on myself yesterday, so yeah, I was more relaxed.
Okay, and we're just going to move over here, because Archie, I do just want to speak to you. You have had one hell of a year, haven't you? What has it taken sort of mentally, and how much resilience have you had to call upon to get yourself here, to get on that British podium?
Quite a lot, yeah. I think that sums it up. Oh man, I mean, I'm lucky to have a fantastic family around me, girlfriend, team, and it's been really tough. And actually, the last 2 days as well, just like, it's been a real mental battle. Fighting a lot more demons than I kind of thought I was going to be fighting this week. And yeah, but I mean, hands down, well done to these two young guys stood beside me. Like, they're doing a fantastic job to be racing at the level they're racing at their age and holding it together in finals like these. So, smashing job, boys.
Archie, thank you so much. And I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone to say they are so pleased to see you doing what you are doing. Well done. And also, Philip, round of applause for you. Amazing. 2 bronzes in 2 days. Give it up for your top 3, everybody.
Well, I can tell you that those demons for Archie Goodburn, just an unbelievable swimmer. He's swimming with a brain tumour. Quite extraordinary. Silver medal on the 50 metres breaststroke at the Aquatics GB Championships. Phenomenal. No wonder he was emotional. So the bronze medal going to Filip Nowacki in this 50 metres breaststroke, 27.87. New lifetime best for him, first time under 28. The silver medal to Archie Goodburn, and Max's dad presenting the gold. That's great to see. Well done, sir. Wonderful family. Had some great chats with his dad, lovely guy. And Max Morgan is the British champion on the men's 50 metres breaststroke after a silver on the 100. Well, pretty emotional there, that whole medal ceremony. Max Morgan winning his first national title, senior national title, after silver last night and going so close to sub-60. But utterly phenomenal what Archie Goodburn's achieved with that brain tumour, coming second. Wow, phenomenal. And first time sub-28 seconds for Filip Nowacki to win the bronze. Hard to put into words, really, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Archie spoke fantastic there. You know, I don't think there wasn't a single person in this room that didn't feel the emotion through that just now. But a fantastic swim for Max, obviously, to win the gold. Archie came back great, and Philippe, obviously, congratulations, amazing again.
Just a little high five with Max Morgan. Great to see. So here we go, 1500 metres freestyle for women is the next race. It's just the final heat. And Dan, he had something to say about that, didn't you? You didn't like it being called the heats, the last heat. You want it to be called a final.
I do. I think it's been held in the... I can see where people come from when it is the fastest heat, because it is the fastest heat. You know, there's 10 swimmers swimming, and in a final, they have 8. But if it's in the final session, I do believe it should be called the finals. I think it just adds a little bit more buzz to it.
Well, there's Ava Cook in lane number 1, and 7, it's Abby Roscoe. Outside of her in 8, it's Lucy Parsons, and 9 is Madison Renz. Phoebe Arbuckle is in lane 0 with Ava Cook next to her in 1. In 2, it's Holly Wilson. Here she is, Holly Wilson from City of Leeds. Second in the junior final on the 200 metres freestyle. She is a junior still. In fact, there's 7 juniors in this final. Amazing. Abby Roscoe in lane 7, 14 years of age. There's Michaela Glenister in lane 6 from Stirling. And Leah Crisp went to the Olympic Games in Paris, was 20th in the open water, the 10K. Also been to the World Championships on the 10K, the last 2 World Championships. Fleur Lewis, European Championship silver medalist on the 800 metres freestyle, bronze on the 15. That was in Belgrade in Serbia last year. And Amelie Bloksic, well, she was 16 last week, and she's already 2-time national champion in this 1500 metres freestyle. Utterly phenomenal. European junior champion, 8 and 15, just missed Olympic selection. Wonder what she can do here, Amelie Bloksic.
Yeah, and you know, Amelie is such a nice person as well, and she's just genuinely just a swimmer who loves swimming.
Really bubbly character as well, Dan. So this is the final heat. Normally in the final session we only use 8 lanes for finals, but this is the final heat. And of course in the mornings we use 10 lanes. I'd love to see all 10 lanes used in the final for the finals as well. But this is the final heat, so all 10 lanes used. How many blocks are in 4?
Take your marks.
So 1,500 metres freestyle, 30 lengths of the pool. I have to say, getting your mind around that, so I've got to think very carefully about it. But the gentleman next to me is an absolute superstar. This is his thing. It's his bag. It's what he loves. It's what he was brilliant at. Twice an Olympian, finalist at the Olympic Games at 1,500 metres freestyle, Commonwealth medalist in 1,500 metres freestyle. The Welsh rocket it is, Jan Jervis.
Welsh rocket. I've never been called that before, but I'm going to take that.
Tell us, how do you swim 1,500 freestyle? 30 lengths, do you split it up into 31s or 15-2s, or how do you do it?
Well, it took me a long time to find how I was going to swim it. Now, there's not a single swimmer, I don't think, in the world that swims it exactly the same. So the way I done it, I always concentrated on the first 300. I liked it to be strong, but I liked it to be quite chilled as well. What I was doing in the first 300, especially hundreds 1 and 2, the first 100 just finishes itself. The hundreds 1 and 2, I was 2 and 3, sorry, I was just trying to get into that rhythm, get the count in my head, maybe a good song get in your head, that helps. And then, yeah, what I do from that then, I just hold on from hundreds 5 to 1,000. I just keep that pace going, keep that song going out of my head, keep that count, keep counting the lengths. Obviously, you do not want to lose count, even though in a 1,500 and 800, with 100 metres to go, they do ring a bell, just in case you do lose count.
Did you say you had a song in your head?
Usually I do have a song in my head, yeah, when I'm swimming a 1,500.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, yeah, it is usually Taylor Swift. You don't want something slow. You don't necessarily want Adele in your head. I love Adele, but you don't want a song like that in your head.
But it's for the performance, for the tick tick tick, is it, to get the pace of your stroke right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's all about that.
Well, Amelie Bloksic almost a body length ahead at the 200 metres. She was 2:07 last year when she won this title. And what is she here? 2:07.0. So 2:07.05 last year, 2:07.04 this year. So she's improved. She's 100 ahead of where she was last year. She's got a big ask here, because if she's going to do the consideration time for the World Championships, it's 16:02.39. Now, her lifetime best is 16:10. So she's got to go, what, a good 8 seconds, in actual fact 7.7 seconds faster than her lifetime best, which is a huge ask. But 2:07, she can do it off that, but she really needs to make sure she continues to build through this 1,500, I think. How do you think she's going so far, Dan?
I think she's looking great. She's looking really chill. She looks really in control. You know, I think Amelie, for her now and for the rest of the girls in this race, they just need to get the turns right. As we spoke about this morning, there's 29 turns in this race. And the difference with the distance race is, if you get something small wrong every turn, let's say you add an extra half a second every single turn, that's 29 turns. That adds nearly 15 seconds onto the race. So it's so easy to add time on a 1,500 or any distance race. But it's also easy to take a big chunk of time off. Now, we don't know what Amelie's been working on in training, but hopefully she's been working on turns. They're looking really good at the moment. It'd be interesting to see how they hold up as the 1,500 goes on and she gets more tired. But her stroke at the moment, it's looking fantastic. She's come to the 350 mark now.
Well, she does look good. And I can tell you, Dan, that at times after that first 100 of 61.85, then she went 65.19, 65.07. So she's settled into 65 lows. It'd be good to see her stay at those 65 lows, maybe go even 64 highs if she's going to go to 16.10.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like she's got a good song in her head.
Well, she's going well at the moment, and she's starting to increase the pace, it looks like. Starting to drop the field a little bit. Leah Crispin, lane 3. It's quite a lot bigger gap now. See there, 4:17.33. So that's 65.2. She's 4:17.34 last year, so again, just 1/100th difference, and 1/100th faster. Well, she is right on that lifetime best time of 16:10. But in order to go the qualification standard for the World Championships, it's 16:02. For the juniors, well, she's definitely going to go there, 16:45. No doubt about that. So she can go back to the European Juniors, where she won the title last year in Vilnius, Lithuania, on both the 800 and the 1500 metres freestyle at that European Junior Championships. And what a swim that was. Won it well. Really outstanding. Went to World Short Course as well. First ever World Championships for the senior team that she swam. That was last year in December. And she's looking good, Dan. This is the 500 metres turn, so a third down now. What are you looking for now in terms of strategy, in terms of pacing?
So right now, what I would be doing, I'd be looking to maybe build from the 5 to the 1,000. Yeah, keep that rhythm, keep that stroke, but definitely make yourself, as we said yesterday, the aim in distance swimming, or the aim in any swimming really, is you need to make yourself look about 9 foot tall. That means the longer you stretch out in the water, the more water you can hold and the more streamlined you are through the water, ultimately making you faster through the water. Now, we can't forget about the people next to her. So Leah Crisp in lane 3, Fleur Lewis in lane 5. Leah went to the Olympic Games in the 10K last year in Paris. She came 20th overall. Fleur Lewis in this event last year won the silver in the 1500 free. She also won the silver in the 800 and bronze in the 400. So they're both experienced swimmers. Right next to Leah as well, we've got Holly Wilson. Holly's a great junior swimmer. She last year in the 200 free junior final, she came second. She won the silver overall, and it just shows her versatility in this event.
Well, she was second here in that 200 metres freestyle junior final as well. So Holly Wilson in lane number 2, fantastic junior, and she can do that European junior consideration time as well. There's a lot of juniors in this final heat. In fact, 7 juniors in the final heat. So I expect them to be having a crack at that 16:45. No doubts about the leader, though. It is Emily Bloxage, and she looks fantastic at the moment. Well, her splits 61.8, and then she's gone 65.2, 65.0, 65.2, 65.3. So she's just dropped a tiny bit on that previous 100. Looking good, though. Still pushing it, and already 2 times national champion on the 1500 metres freestyle. Utterly extraordinary junior. Making that change from junior to senior not easy, but she's still only just 16 years of age last week at her birthday. And this is brilliant. This is the 700 metres turn. So the turn after this will be the halfway mark, which is going to be, what, 7:34, something like that, 7:34.14. And how's she looking at the moment, Dan?
Yeah, she's looking really good. She's got quite a high stroke rate, which is, you know, if that's Amelia's stroke rate, that's great. I was usually at this point maybe have a slower stroke rate, but that was just me, you know. You look at Ledecky's stroke rate is one of the fastest in the world for a distance swimmer. And look how she's doing. She's doing absolutely fine. But yeah, Amelia, there's no question who's winning this. Now, she's a good 15 metres ahead of second, third and fourth. Now, she's just done the halfway turn, and I can tell you that is quite a significant turn mentally when you're doing the race. You know, you think to yourself, right, I'm over the brow of the hill. Now, you're not exactly on the final stretch, but you can see it in the distance.
She's got 15 lengths to go. For a 100-metre sprinter, that's an awful long way, I've got to tell you. But 8:07 at the halfway, so 2 of those would be 16:14, which would be a great time. It'd be well under that European junior consideration time, the qualification time, I should say, 16:45. So 8:40 at the 800, 8:40.02. So she's going well. I think she's just dropping off her lifetime best pace. That lifetime best is 16:10. Just a second and a half off it, but the youngster, she's still got so much to learn. And she'll learn when she goes to those events like the World Short Course in December. She'll learn a massive amount going to her first major senior international, something like the World Short Course then.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, every competition, whether it was the first international or my last, I learned something every time, you know. I started in 2014 in the Commonwealth Games. That was my first international. That was life-changing for me. Yeah, I swam well, but I was like a sponge. I was soaking in the information. And even in my last event in the Paris Olympics, Olympics. You know, I was seeing things, I was learning things from different athletes in my event. But, you know, talking about all the girls, I've swum actually in a training camp with a lot of these girls. I know Eva, Holly, Leah, Amelie, Fleur, and the rest. Aquatics GB now and again hold these distance events. So what it is just get the distance swimmers together in Britain so we can have a bit of a training week together. And let me tell you, as an experienced distance swimmer, it was the hardest week of training of my life, Andy.
Well, these youngsters, they've got a point to prove when they go to those events, haven't they? They want to stick with the big guns like you. They want to stick with the superstars. And leading, I can tell you, is Amelie Bloxage quite comfortably, but right behind her, just coming into the shot now in lane number 5 is Fleur Lewis, European Championship silver medalist on this 800, on the 800 metres freestyle, bronze on this, the 15, and then a little bit of a battle for 3rd and 4th. Leah Crisp in lane 3, the British Olympic open water swimmer. 20th she was in an absolutely brutal event in the River Seine it was. And then Holly Wilson in lane 2 for Leeds. Just having a little bit of a go there at Leah Crisp. You can just see in lanes 2 and 3, just having a little battle in 3rd and 4th there. And coming up into the 1,000 metres turn now, it is Amelie Bloxage for the time 10:52.68. And so she's just now dropped a little bit. She's dropped to 66s, so she was 65.0, 65.2, 65.3, and the last couple have been 66.1, 66.5.
Yeah, I think at this stage now we'll start to see, we might see, Andy, a change in the order. Now I think Amelie's a bit too far ahead to see any change in her place in here. I think Fleur Lewis as well, she is firmly in silver medal position. But, you know, there could be a change with Holly and Leah. This next 500, the last 500, will really tell if the girls have paced the first 1,050 right.
Well, I can also tell you that Leah Crisp is very quick on the back half of a 1,500 metres freestyle. The University of Bath swimmer in lane number 3, so she could do something. She's currently in 3rd position. And she's been tracked by Holly Wilson from Leeds in 4th, but she's also starting to have a little bit of a look at Fleur Lewis in lane 5, who's currently in 2nd. That's Bloxage over at the 1,100 metres mark, so 8 lengths left. Amelie Bloxage, the 16-year-old, well, she's got about 15-metre lead from in 2nd place at the moment, Fleur Lewis, but Leah Crisp now in 3rd. Just having a little look. I just wonder if she's catching up a little bit there. We'll look at the splits. Leah Crisp 33.6 for that last 50. We'll try and see what Fleur Lewis is going on the 50. She's looking pretty comfortable. Maybe she's now got a bit of a second wind as well in 2nd place. Bloxage first, 15 metres ahead of Lewis in 2nd. She's about 5 metres ahead of Leah Crisp in 3rd. And again, maybe another 5 metres ahead of Holly Wilson in 4th.
Yeah, and I think what the girls will be going through now, yeah, they can see the end of the race coming closer, but something that they are facing right now probably is something called distance bellyache. Now, I can't exactly explain it unless you've had it, but imagine if you try to do the max amount of sit-ups you can possibly do. That ache you get in your stomach is exactly what these girls are feeling right now. Now, I am no doctor, but I'm pretty sure it's a rush of blood to your stomach. That's what I think it is, and I can tell you, it is the most painful thing in the world, and that can actually be more painful than your arms and legs or being out of breath.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that. I've got to say, I've never experienced it. When does that come? What sort of stage? Well, I suppose if you're lucky, it's as late as possible in the race. But for you, when was a normal time that you started feeling that coming on?
I usually started to experience it about the 900 mark, so I only had to deal with it for about 600, but I've also had it start, Andy, at about 600, and that's when to worry.
Wow.
Because you're in a world of pain for a long time.
Yes, at 900, that's okay, because you've only got 12 lengths left. Oh, my goodness me. Well, this is the 1,300 metres turn, and Amelie Bloxage, well, she's going to win another national title here in this. It's fantastic. 16.28 is the 16-year-old's national record. 16.28. She's going to be well under that, I think. Let's see, she's got 4 legs to go. It still looks pretty good here. She's still working hard.
Yeah, if I was one of these girls in the race now, I would start to be thinking about picking up the speed. You know, she's only got, well, Amelie's only got about 150, 160 metres left, so she can really start to build momentum now and just smash the last 50. Now, saying to go max for the last 50 is probably a bit of a push, because at this point in the 1500, max doesn't really exist. It's just as hard as you can possibly go, whatever you got left.
Well, she's looking good, you know. She's just starting to look a little bit more fresh right now. I like her stroke. She's going to be under 16:20. That's for certain. And well, 16:28 is the under 16s, 16 and unders national age group record. So she's going to smash that. 100 metres to go. Here we go. The bell sounding. 2 lengths to go in this final of the women's 1500 metres freestyle at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. And as she has done right from the start, Emily Bloxage of Salford leading by about 20 metres from Fleur Lewis of Loughborough in second. She's about 10 metres ahead of Leah Crisp, University of Bath in third. And then a little bit of a battle for fourth and fifth. At the moment it's Holly Wilson leading Phoebe Arbuckle in lanes 2 and 0. But no doubt about the leader. And it's been a really impressive swim, this, Dan.
So impressive. And I know you didn't experience that bell when you was doing your 100-metre flies or any event, Andy, but I can tell you as a distance swimmer, that bell is music to my ears.
I'm absolutely sure of that. I've run a couple in my time, but I've certainly never got close. And wow, she looks really fresh here. Well, this is a super time. She's going to go well under the qualification time for making that European junior team to go to Slovakia for the European juniors this year. This is a new 16-year-old's national age group record for Amelie Bloxage of City of Salford, and successfully defending that national title on the women's 1500 metres freestyle. 16:23.5, great swim from her. Fleur Lewis, the silver, 16:33, 10 seconds behind. And third is Leah Crisp, the British Olympian, the open water swimmer from University of Bath. Great swim from her. Fourth was Holly Wilson, just from Phoebe Arbuckle in fifth. Sixth was Madison Renz. Well, what a swim. Such a long way. 16:23, not quite on her lifetime best, but she can do that this summer. And I'm sure she'll be going to those European Junior Championships in Slovakia in July.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race from Amelie. Also from Fleur and Leah. Great swims for all three girls. There isn't someone in this race actually that didn't have a great swim, and everyone here was great. Leah, now she is more 10k. Now the difference between 1500 and 10k is obviously 8,500 metres. I have personally done a 10k, and it was the hardest 2 hours of my life, Andy, honestly, because you're not just dealing with, in this pool now, you get your own lane, you get your own space, the water's nice and still. In an open water race, you could be on that starting pontoon with 90 others, and it is literally a fight for 2 hours. It's brutal.
Well, it certainly is. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Amelie Bloxage doing a little bit of open water, a little bit more open water. She's already done some. She's very good at it. European Junior Open Water Champion in the 5K in 2023 and in 2024. Successfully defending her national title in the 1500 metres freestyle. Amelie Bloxage of Salford. Fleur Lewis gets the silver, and Leah Crisp the bronze. And those three medalists will be talking to Betty.
Wow, what a race that was. That was brilliant. Amelie, you are now British champion for the third time in a row in this event. How was that from your perspective? What was going through your mind?
I'm really happy to win it third time in a row and regain my title. Yeah, so I feel really happy.
I bet. And also, you've broken the record for your age group as well. You only turned 16 last week, and you've just gone and smashed that record. That must feel good.
I wasn't expecting to break it, to be honest. I just wanted to go there and do my best, so it was just a bit of a game for me.
And I've been sat just under where your dad is, and I think your grandma, and they were screaming for you so loud for the entirety of that entire race. Do you want to say anything to them?
Thank you for all the support.
Well done. Everyone, give it up for our medalists.
Well, she's 4 times European Junior Champion, and this is pretty special. Coming to present the medals is Antonio Silva, the president of European Aquatics. Here he is. And Emily, I'm sure we're going again to the European Junior Championships in Slovakia in July this year. And who's to say she won't add a couple more gold medals? She's won the open water twice, the 5K. She's won the 800 and the 1500 metres freestyle. And she's about to get her third consecutive national 1500 metres freestyle title, gold medal, from the president of European Aquatics, Antonio Silva. Outstanding swimmer. There we go. That's wonderful. So the gold to Amelie Bloksic, the silver to Fleur Lewis, and bronze Leah Crisp. Such a lovely smile, and she just seems to enjoy life to the full. Really does. Well, straight into the junior final, the men's 200 metres butterfly. And the juniors, well, if you want to go to the European Junior Championships, you have to be born between 2007 and 2011. And the European Juniors will be held in Slovakia in July. And for the British team members who go there, they can then be selected to go to the World Junior Championships. And that's going to be held in Romania in August. It's a tough qualification standard, 2 minutes, 0.43. It really isn't easy at all. So here we go. It's Achilles Bello Ormeno of Guildford in 1. In 2, it's Orpin of Sutton. 3 is Jack Brown of Plymouth Leander. Llewellyn Porter of Camden in 4, the 16-year-old. In 5 is Miles Kinlan. 6, Ryan Hardy. 7, Dion Edwards. Benjamin Beale, a 15-year-old from Northumberland and Durham. Just won gold in the World School Games in Serbia on the 200 metres butterfly for the under-15s. World gold. Good on him. Lane 8 in the junior final, a 15-year-old. Junior final, men's 200 fly, Llewellyn Porter, 16 years of age, the fastest seed in lane 4. 16-year-old age group champion on this 200 fly last year at the Summer Championships, fastest seed.
Take your marks.
Well, it's amazing looking across the pool. Look at those massive men, they're all juniors. It's extraordinary. 200 fly, the junior final. Llewellyn Porter, the fastest seed, and he started well, but probably Jack Brown of Plymouth Leander, the fastest down this first 35, 40 metres or so, and he looks very comfortable, nice and long.
Yeah, he's really throwing his arms over on this first 50. That first 50 from Jack was very, very fast, actually. 26.07. That was rapid. And Andy, they have not picked easy events today, have they? They picked the 1500. They picked 400 IMs, and they picked the 200 flies.
And that's after 400 free last night as well. So it's been a tough programme for some. And people like Jimmy Guy won the 400 metres freestyle last night, and he's back in again on the 2 fly this evening. So really tough double first 2 nights. Welcome to the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. First to turn at the 100 is Brown in 2, or in 3, Orpin in 2, and then Llewellyn Porter in 4, turning in 3rd place. And now Llewellyn Porter starting to make a move in that white hat, 1 lane closer to us from the leader.
Starting to make a move, absolutely, and he's really working this third 50 to give him as much propulsion onto that 450 as possible. And the main aim of this race, of any race in fact, is just to get your hands on that wall first.
Well, he made a really big move, did Llewellyn Porter, down that 3rd 50. What's he got left? It looks like Jack Brown. Well, he had an easier 3rd 50 there, interesting, but he's still coming back and he's picking it up again. Very impressive indeed from Brown in 3.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to how this last 25 is going to turn out. Jack Brown really is holding on here. He's looking great though, Andy.
Well, he is. He's breathing every stroke. He's getting as much oxygen in as he can, but he's keeping his chin nice and flat on the water, so his body position is good. See if he sticks his head down. No, he doesn't, but he wins it. Very good indeed. 2 minutes, 0.83. Wow, well, that's just 4/10 outside the European Junior consideration time, but that is a massive lifetime best. A huge one. 3-second lifetime best, and he's utterly delighted. Boom, well done. Well done. That is outstanding. Well, if you're going to take on something as tough as 200 metres butterfly, that's how to do it. What a swim it was. Here's the result. Jack Brown wins it. 2 minutes, 0.83 off a 2:04 lifetime best. Llewellyn Porter gets second, and Miles Kinman third. And now we've got a little bit of a piece from this morning. Betty Glover was talking to Duncan Scott this morning.
Duncan, you make that look so easy and so comfortable. Is that how it felt?
Oh, not at all, no. I mean, to be fair, a lot of these boys, because their technique is so good, you know, they make it look pretty easy. But yeah, we're all, you know, morning 200 fly is pretty tough, you know, even if you are, you know, maybe 90%, 85%. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It was going to be an honest effort regardless. So, yeah, happy with that.
You got a fast time in heats, but I think a lot of people want to know, why are you doing the 200 fly? What's the thinking behind this?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think I'm all right at it. That's the first thing. But then the other things like that's who I am. You know, those boys that I race, you know, Leon, Carson Foster and many others, you know, their 100 fly PBs are so fast that, you know, they can take that race out. So, yeah, I've really got to improve my fly to give myself a good chance. That's who I am.
Well, good luck tonight.
I appreciate that. Thanks very much. I'll need it.
That's after a 200 fly heat. He sounded like he just walked in the park. Incredible. 8 times Olympic medalist Duncan Scott, the second most decorated Olympian in British Olympic history. With his 8 medals. Amazing. Here's Antonio Rodriguez in lane number 8, the slowest seed. He's your old Swansea man, Dan?
Yeah, Antonio's great. He's a lovely guy, a very chilled out guy. If you want to relax in time, have a good conversation with Antonio. But he's lovely. He's such a good swimmer as well.
There you go. So Antonio Rodriguez in 8. Next to him will be Andrew Bertoli, University of Stirling in 7. Thomas Bealey of University of Aberdeen Performance in 2, and just outside of him is Charles Simpson, a junior from Repton, in lane number 1, and he's just seen a junior go 2 minutes 0.8, so it'll be interesting to see how quick he can go. Jimmy Guy, here we go, won the 400 metres freestyle last night. First time he'd done it on a big stage for about 10 years, and I think he learns a lot from it. It'll be really interesting to see how he does here. 3 times Olympic gold medalist. Josh Gammon, 3rd fastest seed from Bath in lane number 3, defending champion on this 200 fly. And then 8 times Olympic medalist. Goodness me, 2 times Olympic gold medal on that 4x2 free relay. But he's got individual individual silvers at the Olympics, twice on the 200 AM. Amazing. And then Ed Mildred, well, what he did this morning was fantastic. Mildred from Manchester Performance, European under-23s gold medalist on a 100 metres freestyle, going in a 200 fly.
Yeah, and there's I know it's only 100 metres, but that makes a huge difference for Edward Mildred.
He's in lane 4, and it'll be really interesting to see how he approaches this. Well, he's now at this Manchester Performance Centre, and Ryan Livingston there. He's a tough trainer, certainly is. He's got some excellent swimmers in that programme, not least of which in lane 6, Jimmy Guy. And you know when a Manchester Performance swimmer turns up on the blocks, they're going to be fit as fiddles. Matt Richards, of course, as well, and Emily Richards, his wife now, Emily Large. Final of the men's 2 fly. Gammon in 3, defending champion. Mildred in 4, Duncan Scott in 5, Jimmy Guy in 6. Charles Simpson up there in 1, the junior. He'll be looking for 2 minutes 0.43. Qualification time for Singapore for the World Championships, really tough, 1:54.97. Wow. is the big final, the A final, the men's 200 metres butterfly. Right in the centre, Ed Mildred was the fastest C, but he's got some really quick guys outside of him. One lane up from it is Josh Gammon in 3 and Duncan Scott in 5, James Guy in 6. And tactically, this will be very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think this could come down to the last 50 and who is willing to fight through the pain the most in the last length. I think it comes down to who wants it more, to be honest with you.
Well, he's under Michael Rock's British record pace at the 50. This is very, very fast from Ed Mildred down this first 75 metres or so. He is an excellent 100 metres freestyle swimmer. Won the inaugural European under-23s 100 metres freestyle a couple of years ago. And he's here in the 200 fly. Duncan Scott, this is an interesting way of swimming it as well in lane 5. I did not expect him to go out this quickly. And he's still under British record pace. And with Duncan Scott, he normally goes out comfortably much slower than this. Fascinating in second place at the moment.
Yeah, Duncan's having a great swim here. It's like Edward and Duncan are stroke for stroke here. Now, Edward Mildred dropped nearly a whole second this morning to get into that middle lane. He's got proof that he's on fire this morning, but how is he going to deal with being in the middle of Duncan, Jimmy and Josh Gammon?
Well, this is very fast indeed. 150 by 123.9 under British record pace. That's Michael Rock's British record. And this is an excellent swim from both of these two guys in the centre. Outstanding stuff. Mildred in 4, Duncan Scott in 5, Manchester in 4, Sterling in 5. And it looks like Duncan Scott's starting to come through. The 8 times Olympic medalist in lane number 5. Duncan Scott is hanging tough here. Can he break the British record? Can he go anywhere near that qualification standard of 154.97? It's an amazing swim. 154.89. He's done the qualification standard. I did not expect that, and that is a brilliant swim from Duncan Scott. A totally new way of swimming it. We've never seen him go out that fast before, and that is outstanding. He's qualified for Singapore. Will he swim the 200 fly in Singapore? I don't think even he expected he was going to go that fast. Massive lifetime best as well from Duncan Scott, 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was a great swim from Duncan, and I think he's going to have a busy schedule in Singapore anyway, so I think it's going to be up to him whether he wants to do it. I think with a swim like that, I think he should, but we'll see.
Wow, that is extraordinary, the way he went about it. There's Jimmy Guy on the right-hand side of those two. But just the attack from Duncan Scott. It's meant to be a fun race for him. 200 fly, 154.8. That's going to be one of the fastest times in the world this year, you know, for a fun event for Duncan Scott. Mildred second, excellent swim from him, that really was. Huge lifetime best, 1.8 seconds lifetime best from him, and Jimmy Guy third, 159.4. Duncan Scott, 154.89. Wow, that is brilliant. Absolutely stunning. What a way to go about it. Well, I can't wait to hear what these guys have got to say to Betty Glover. Brilliant.
Wow. How about that? Everybody, put your hands together for our medalists. Duncan Scott, come and talk to us then. Did you expect to go that fast?
Yeah. You know, I back my ability, and you know, it's something we've been training pretty hard for, and there's probably a few times that I've done the 200 fly, you know, tapered and fully gone for it, you know, usually at a Commonwealth Games. So, you know, I thought this would be a really good opportunity, this trials against some, you know, world-class athletes. You know, Ed's just gone 2 BBs in one day. Jim's obviously got the British record, 154, and Gammon won it last year, and then another of the other boys as well. So, yeah, you know, I knew it was going to be a really tough battle, but, you know, as an athlete, you got to back yourself as well.
You certainly went off really fast as well. I think commentary even surprised about how quick you were going. But you were already on the plane to Singapore. Will you be doing that out there in Singapore?
I'm looking for my coach. There's no chance I'm doing that. He better not be nodding his head. Yeah, no chance, yeah.
Ed, come on, let's speak to you, because you've done 2 PBs in one day. I mean, how are you feeling? Tired, I imagine?
Yeah, pretty knackered. It's a tough event. Thank you. Obviously, Duncan, incredible swimmer. Could see him off that turn. I gave him my all, but he's a class athlete, so just had me at the end there. But
bit annoyed at that, but can't shy away from the result. Yeah, it's a good result.
Next time, eh? Jimmy, how do you feel doing that after your 400 yesterday?
Oh, yeah, and that actually really hurt. You know, doing the swims yesterday took a lot out of me. I didn't think it would be as hard as it would be. But yeah, no excuses. It was not a great time, but, you know, it's coming here trying to race the best in Britain, and, you know, what a race. Seeing Duncan go, good time. Obviously, I trained with their personal best for him, so it's nice to see the 200 flies kind of getting down there again. But on the podium with these boys is always good fun.
Well, well done. Everybody, put your hands together for these three.
There were 5 lifetime bests in that final, but I still cannot get over Duncan Scott. I loved his reaction. Did you expect to go that fast?
Yeah. I love just the brutal honesty, which is what you want in these interviews.
Oh, that was outstanding. But then, are you going to make it? Oh, look at this. Look at the presenter of the medals. Dawn Pert, now I think she's just retired. As I think she was, well, I don't know what she was. She was basically coordinator of the British team in terms of, I don't know, chaperone, team manager. I mean, she did absolutely everything. Wonderful lady, really is. She met her for in a coffee shop earlier on. She just said she's pleased to finally give it up, but she's had a fantastic career in British swimming, and she's done such a super job, looked after so many people. You know Dawn Pert really well.
I know Dawn really well, and it was great to know that if you were away and you needed something, whether it be small or big, she was the person to go to. She was exactly where you wanted her to be all the time.
Yeah, she's just the voice of reason, isn't she? You need an arm around you, she'll do that. You need a bit of a kick in the pants, she'll do that. She will always look after you. She's always got your back, Dawn Pert. Wonderful lady. Well, on the right-hand side there, I think Duncan Scott's still learning to walk. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm looking to my right here in the commentary box, and we've been joined by an absolute superstar, 400 medley royalty, Hannah Miley. Welcome to the commentary box.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So you're down here. I think I saw a mini Miley, did I?
Yes, you did. My 18-month-old daughter, Nuala. Yeah, she's with us.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great. Very good. So, well, this is the women's 400 AM. We've got the junior final first and then the senior final. And is it a bit weird to be in the commentary box watching and commentating on a 400 medley when it has been your event? You're still the British record holder?
Yeah, it is a little bit strange, but it's quite nice because you get to relive some of the painful memories of swimming the 400 IM.
But from a nice dry seat.
Yes, very much so.
It's great to have you in the commentary box. This is the junior final of the women's 400 medley. Alice Forrest in 1, Evie Mackey in 2, Emma Price in 3, Susie McNair in 4 with Katie Lee in 5, Petra Varga 6, 7 is Lydia Caudle of Repton, and 8 Kate Cotter of Chelmsford City. It's a yellow hat in lane 5. That's Katie Lee of Salford in 5. The fastest seed is in lane number 4, Susie McNair of University of Stirling. Her lifetime best, 4:49. The two swimmers in the centre, 4:49, both of them lifetime best, and quite a big difference between them and the rest of the field. But how would you go about swimming the 200 fly, the 400 medley here? And I know you were a great fly, back, breast, and freestyle, but how would you suggest these ladies have an attack of this 400 IM?
It kind of comes down to the individual strengths and weaknesses. At that age, my strength was my 200 fly, so I'd have to go out at a pace that was comfortable but strong enough to hold me in good position. My breaststroke actually at that age was terrible, so I had to make up for that on my freestyle leg. So it's certainly trying to find that fingerprint for their strengths and weaknesses.
And right in the centre at the moment, Susie McNair using her strength on the fly. If you're a good flyer, do you push the fly even though you still got the 100 back, breast and free, or do you try and control it? How do you do it? Because you want to probably use it as much as you can but not get too tired.
Yeah, exactly that. We call it easy speed, so it's being able to push it enough without it costing you too much. So dropping your legs, maybe having a higher tempo in the stroke and the arms. And yeah, just trying to find that strength, but knowing you've got the reserve to then push on maybe a weaker stroke that could be your back, breast, or even freestyle.
Well, great fly from Susie McNair. Turned first at the end of the 100 metres butterfly leg. Now the backstroke, Katie Lee, that yellow hat there right in the centre. We have seen a little bit of pinballing going on down these backstroke lengths, hitting one lane line and then the other. Sometimes quite hard to swim straight on the backstroke. Did you ever have problems with that? You swam quite a few races outdoors, Hannah.
Yeah, don't ever follow clouds if you're swimming outdoors. But interestingly, the roof here is slightly sloped, so it's not a straight line that you follow. And I remember racing here for the trials for London 2012, and yeah, you were pinballing side to side because you try and match that line on the roof, which actually isn't straight. Looks straight, but it's not.
So if that is an issue, how would you try not to do that? Any little cheeky tactics to try and swim straight?
I tend to just nod my head forward a little bit and keep your lane rope in your peripheral vision, so that gives you a good distance and separate yourself away from the lane rope.
Well, that's great advice there from Hannah Miley, British record holder on this, the 400 medley. That's the halfway turn. Katie Lee of Salford leading. And it's actually Emily Bloxage's training partner, Katie Lee, in lane 5. Really good first half, and looks like she's got a decent breaststroke. McNair second. Third at the moment is Petra Varga of Wirral, and fourth is Lydia Cordell of Repton. Let's just have a look at this breaststroke here from Katie Lee for us, will you, Hannah? It looks nice, it looks quite powerful, quite long stroke.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. I'd say that her stroke rate is actually a little bit higher, a bit quicker. So you're kind of like skimming a stone across the water. So you're not having your head underwater for too long, creating that oxygen debt. Even though this could potentially be her weaker stroke, she's actually holding really strong within this. So working the second 50 will be her opportunity to get that strong position going into that freestyle.
Well, she looks good with about 35 metres of breaststroke still to go. So the leader is Katie Lee of Salford. It's quite tight for second place at the moment. So in lane 4, that's Susie McNair of Stirling, and in 6, Petra Varga. So Lee leading from McNair and Varga. Really nothing to choose between those two. But once she gets going on the freestyle, Katie Lee's going to have about 3 or 4 metre lead from Petra Varga. I think it's going to be in 6, and Varga maybe just tiny bit catching at the moment. 100 metres to go. Now, what are you starting to think now? You've finished with the fly, finished the back, finished the breast. What's the thought process going into the freestyle, Hannah?
It's whatever you've got left. So this 50 here, you want to make sure that you still have the reserve in that final 50. So your legs will be working really hard, but you really want to give it your all on this final 50. So you don't want to burn out too much, try and almost negative split this 100. But you're very aware of giving that chance of seeing where you are in the race as well.
Well, she's 5 seconds faster than she was in the heats this morning, so she's right on her lifetime best time. She can go just sub 450. That would be fantastic, and it's a very good swim indeed at the moment. And she's starting to pick up the pace as well. It's good technique.
Very good. She's breathing to the right-hand side there, so she's keeping an eye on Susie McNair, but picking up her stroke right leg kick now. You can see that white water, but we're starting to see a bit of change of the guard for second and third position too.
We certainly are. McNair's overtaking Varga, I think, for the second place, but no doubt about the leader. Can she go close to 450? Katie Lee of City of Salford is going to win the junior final of the women's 400 metres individual medley, and she's gone under 450. Well done. 4:49.50. That's an excellent swim from her. Well, her season's best is right on that, so well done. She'd have been ranked 4th in the A final with that time, and she's won the junior final. It just shows, doesn't it, if you can get up in the morning and really deliver something special in the morning, you can get in the big finals.
Definitely, and there are opportunities, and we are seeing that from some of the junior swimmers who are getting up, and their heat's almost their final, just to put themselves in a great position to potentially be in that A final.
Well, it's a super swim for the winner of the junior final, Katie Lee of City of Salford, 4:49.5. 5 seconds faster than she was this morning. Susie McNair second in that junior final, and Petra Varga third. And, well, Abby Wood, after her heat this morning, was talking to Betty.
Abby, strong swim out there. How did you find that?
400 IM's never going to be easy. Like, I think however easy you think you're taking it, it's always going to burn at the end. But I felt quite confident with this aim. I kind of had a time in my head for the morning to preserve a lot of energy for tonight. And then balancing that with a 200 free last night as well, like, I just had to, like, conserve energy but still put a decent effort in.
You were a little bit disappointed with your 200 free last night, weren't you? Are you excited to sort of focus on the 400 IM tonight?
Yeah, I've actually, in the weirdest way, I don't think anyone's ever said this, but like, I've actually been looking forward to the 4 medley because it's just like a free hit, and I've definitely been putting more focus into my medley training to feel more confident for this. So when I like take a step back from the 200 last night, like I'm not surprised. Like, it's hard to balance loads of different events, and I think my freestyle's definitely taken a step back, whereas I've been working on my medley, so.
All right, well, we'll look forward to watching you.
Thank you very much.
Well, fascinating to hear that she's working on this, the 400 for that 200 medley. But look at that on the right-hand side, British record, Hannah Miley. That's extraordinary time. What was that time again? It went through very quickly. You must know it off by heart.
4 minutes 31.332 is the hundreds. I can't quite remember. I know it's a 4:31 something.
I broke so many British records, I can't remember that. You're a bit like that fancy Dan Jervis, you know. He doesn't know his time. Well, he probably does, actually. I bet he knows them to the 100th. Do you know your times to the 100th, Dan?
No.
I bet you do. I bet you do. This is the A final of the women's 400 medley. Matilda Potter goes in lane 2 for the City of Leeds. Just outside of her is Chloe Bown of Mount Kelly. And in lane 6, Beatrice Varley from Plymouth College. Just outside of her is Holly Robinson of Mount Kelly and Anna Farrow of University of Bath. And here's Abby Wood, 5 times Olympic finalist. 4th and 5th in the 200 metres individual medley at the last 2 Olympic Games. Outstanding medley and breaststroke swimmer. In lane 5, Emily Smith, the 15-year-old, was 3rd in the junior final of the 200 metres freestyle. She's from Royal Tunbridge Wells, Monson. Really good heat swim she did. She attacked Freya Colbert. Here she is. Freya Colbert just coming out. Here she is. Freya Colbert, world champion in the 400 metres individual medley. Already won the 200 free here in a qualification standard for the World Championships in Singapore later this year. Having a bit of fun. And great to see. She looks pretty relaxed here, Hannah.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's booked that ticket, so she is going to Singapore, so she doesn't have that extra pressure on her. However, I'm sure there'll be that pressure of trying to be the fastest swimmer from Loughborough. So her and Abby Wood are definitely going to be battling it out big time here.
It's quite something, isn't it? World champion 400 medley, but she's got a battle to be the best swimmer in her club.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure teammate rivalry really helps push you to the next level. And, you know, she's a world champion for a reason.
She certainly is, and it's pretty brutal. She's world champion, current reigning world champion, but not pre-selected for the World Championships. That pre-selection policy done on the Olympic Games and individual medals at the Olympic Games. So, fair enough. It is an absolute privilege and an honour to be pre-selected. Some people like it, some don't. Adam Peaty was going, well, yeah, OK, fine, but I'm still going to come and swim quicker. That's what I'm going to do. Final, the women's 400 medley. Colbert, world champion in 4. Well, I'll be fascinated to see how this race unfolds, because Abby Wood's a good flyer in 3, Colbert in 4, Smith in 5, Varley in 6. How do you see this race unfolding, Hannah?
I think it's going to be... Abby's probably going to be out in front maybe within the first 100. We know that Freya's got a very strong backstroke. Abby's got a very strong breaststroke. And we know that Freya's very, very good in freestyle, but at the end, we have seen her previously in 400 IMs being a little bit tired at the end, so I think it's going to be right down to the wire. That last 100 metres is really going to be a good battle.
Well, underwater, I've got to say, Abby Wood is very good indeed in lane number 3, but it looks like at the moment, going for it here is Freya Colbert. This is fascinating. Didn't expect her to be quite this quick down the first 75 of this 100 metres, and she looks comfortable, nice and long, breathing every 2 strokes.
Yeah, she looked like that this morning as well, and that was a nice balanced stroke, getting enough oxygen in, the soft legs, so she's not using the legs too much. And again, you can just see she's just doing enough to kind of keep level with Abby coming into the first 100 metres here.
So first the turn at the 100 metres, it is just Abby Wood, but not by much, by 16/100ths of a second from her teammate Freya Colbert. So lanes 3 and 4 leading. At the moment it's Beatrice Varley of Plymouth College in lane 6 coming 3rd, but Emily Smith in 5 really had a great back half of the 400 medley in the heats this morning. And now it's almost synchronised backstroke for these two leaders, isn't it? Abby Wood at the top of those two in 3, and in 4 the world champion Freya Colbert. Both, of course, getting in the top 4 on that 200 metres freestyle and helping the team qualify for Singapore as well. So they've both made the team already, but I'm sure they want to do something special here. Interesting backstroke. It's pretty quick here.
It is. Abby is actually holding Freya off very, very well. We can see now Freya's starting to pick up her stroke rate as we're coming into the back to breast turn. I definitely think now it's going to be all to play for in this 100 metres breaststroke.
Excellent. Well, it's this is the halfway mark, the halfway turn, and this is the final of the 400 medley for women. The men's just about to come, and Abby Wood just over first, I think, but again, not by much. Just 28 100ths of a second. Wood leading Colbert now. Abby Wood's been an Olympic finalist in the 200 metres breaststroke, so if she's going to give herself a chance of winning here, I'd imagine she's going to try and push it. Can she steal this here, the 400 medley?
I think she could. If she can get a big enough gap between herself and Freya, she could certainly have this in the bag. It's a very good chance and opportunity for her.
Well, this is going to be very, very interesting. 3 lengths to go, and the breaststroke specialist is Abby Wood. There's 28 100 split them at that last turn. A little bit more there, certainly. Look at that. Well, it's only 0.27. Oh, no, it's 1.27, excuse me. So quite a significant difference. Both great freestylers. But I can remind you again that on that 200 freestyle last night, Freya Colbert won it, and Abby Wood was the bronze medalist, but there was quite a gap between the two. So this is really interesting. No Katie Shanahan on this event this time. She's decided to do other events. In fact, she's fastest seed, I think, in the women's 100 backstroke, which is coming in a couple of races' time. But this is fascinating. Coming into the 100 metres turn, is this what you expected, Hannah?
Yeah, I kind of thought Freya might have been a little bit closer to Abby on this, but Abby's given herself quite a good lead here, just under 2 seconds, and it's going to be really close now. Freya's got a lot of work to do now, over a body length and a half, potentially closing into a body length behind Abby, but Abby's looking very strong, breathing to the right, seeing where Freya is at, and I think it's going to be all guns blazing down to this final 50.
I'll tell you what, I don't think this race is over, you know. I really don't think this race is over at all. The Singapore time they're looking for is very quick. It's 4:37.8. I'd love to see Abby Wood do that, you know. 4:37.8. Her best time is just under that, so she could do it. But this is a really great swim.
It is. She's looking very strong here. She is holding off Freya. I'm not sure if Freya's got enough pull left to catch her up, although she is starting to sit on Abby's heels. With 15 to go, Freya is now starting to close that gap.
Well, this is really close, isn't it? I expected her to come back, but I didn't think it was going to be this close. It's going to be mighty close. The time they're looking for, 4:37.84. That's a super swim. 2 4:36s. They've both done the qualification time. So the rule says the winner goes if they do the time. So Abby Wood is going to the World Championships on 400 medley. Look at that. She's holding on for dear life. That's wonderful. She has left nothing in the pool. That's an outstanding swim, a massive lifetime best from Abby Wood. She wins the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships on the 400 medley. Please don't lean on me. Wow, that's incredible. And the world champion, well, she didn't need to go too quick. She's done the qualification stand on the 200 free, and she's just done it again there. In theory, she's now under consideration for selection for that 400 medley. Surely they can't leave her.
Surely, she is previous world champion, and she's proven herself to be under that qualifying time. So I'd feel certain that they will select her, but as you say, it's that uncertainty because she is in that second spot position. But that was a very, very good race, literally right down to the final touch there. Abby just getting that touch over Freya, and yeah, absolutely delighted for both those girls. Fantastic swim.
17 100s split training mates, split teammates, and you can see on the right-hand side of that graphic Singapore qualification stands for both of them. The winner goes, the second will be considered, but I can tell you both of those women will be swimming, well, are able to swim. I'm not quite sure if Abby Wood will want to do it, but they will certainly have a choice of doing it in Singapore later this summer. It's in July and August at the World Championships. Oh, what a great race. And the 3 medalists now talking to Betty Glover.
What an unbelievable race that was, and the battle between you two was incredible. Everybody give it up for our medalists. I'm going to come and nestle myself in between these two teammates, because what a race between you two. It was so incredibly close. But Abby, that is a lifetime best time. Well done. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's a pretty old lifetime best. I think it's from about 8 years ago, in 2017, to make my first Worlds team. So I just wanted to see what I could go again, and yeah, I would say I enjoyed it, but it really hurt.
I can also confirm that you are under the time that you needed to get to go to Singapore, so you must feel good about that as well.
Yeah, I've dug myself a big hole. I don't think I'm going to get out of that one with my coach, but I've actually really enjoyed the training for it. It's been nice to have a different focus. So yeah, I'm glad I've done it. I'm quite proud of myself.
Well done. Freya, how was that for you?
Yeah, it was, again, you can't say enjoyable, it's a full medley, but kind of a opposite but similar to Abby. We've both enjoyed focusing on some different events, and she's focused more on the full medley. I've focused elsewhere, so I'm just really pleased I could get the job done, get under the time tonight, and I've lost to a very worthy winner, so it was a good race, and I wouldn't want anyone else to be than Abby. She worked so hard in training, and I'm just so proud of her for getting that lifetime best after so many years. So.
Amazing. Well done. Everybody give it up for our medalists.
Well, that's one heck of a race. I did not expect it to be that quick. I have to say, it's a little bit of a surprise for me that Abby Woods went so fast. And it's a lifetime best from an awful long time ago. And, well, what a fantastic swim. I can tell you that in third place now, receiving her bronze medal, this is Emily Smith, the 15-year-old. And she's done a season's best, 4:44.34. And that is underneath the qualification standard for the European Junior Championships. And there's Dad presenting the medals. Daddy Colbert to Freya Colbert. Lovely to see. And there's going to be a big hug here as well, I'm sure. Well done. Oh, no. No hug for... Give her a hug, come on. Abby Wood, British champion. Women's 400 IM, the silver to the world champion, Freya Colbert, and the bronze to Emily Smith, the 15-year-old. The top two going underneath the qualification time for Singapore for the World Championships, and the bronze medalist, the 15-year-old, going under the European Junior qualification time. Brilliant race, brilliant results.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that, the rivalry and camaraderie between teammates, but also young Emily Smith. You know, she's 10 years younger than Abby Wood, so it's nice to see that new wave coming through.
Well, it really is. And it was an unbelievable race, and the way that Abby Wood swam it, well, quite clearly she's been training for it, and lovely to see after 8 years. It's a long time to wait to get a lifetime best.
Very much so, and to taking that break away just allowed her to focus on other parts, other components, which ultimately has helped and benefited her 400 IM overall.
Well, the next race up, straight into the men's 400 medleys. This is the junior final. Fastest seed is Evan Davidson of Perth City. He's still a schoolboy at Strathallan School. Been there for the last 4 years, coached by Lane Johnson, and this is his final year. Interesting to see where he decides to go to university, but Samuel Sterian 5, second fastest seed into this junior final. Isaac Thompson of Mount Kelly in 1, and 2 it's Austin Manley of Repton, 3 Ransom of Leeds, Davison in 4 and Sterian 5, Andrew Clavis of Warrington in 6, Hugh Mason Williams of Birmingham in 7, and Wilfred Lee of Millfield completes the lineup for this junior final of the men's 400 medley. So the final men's, junior men's 400 metres individual medley. The fastest seed is Evan Davison right in the centre there in that red hat of Perth City. Well, it's been fantastic having Hannah Miley join us. Absolute superstar, world medals, Commonwealth champion, absolutely everything she's done. Wonderful to have you here, and lovely to see your family here as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Hannah.
Thank you very much for having me.
And your British record still stands.
Still stands for now.
Well, great fun to have the thoughts and feelings and expertise of Hannah in the commentary box on that women's 400 medley. Now it's the junior men in the 400 medley, and Evan Davison, excellent stuff. And he's from a very good heat, 4:28. His lifetime best 4:25. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get close to that. The Strathallan High School swimmer. And in 3 going well now is Daniel Ransom of the City of Leeds in that yellow hat up there in lane 3. And these two going to be first to turn. First to the wall actually is Ransom in 3, 59.4 from 59.7 Davison. And those the only two going sub-60 on the first 100. But it looks like Daniel Ransom from the City of Leeds. He's starting to attack this 100 metres backstroke. He's gone early on the backstroke. This is impressive.
I mean, yeah, he really has. He's really pushing ahead, and you know, I hope he's got. Well, how's his breaststroke? You know, because if he's thinking to himself, breaststrokes are not my strong suit, then I've got to really push the backstroke to get as far ahead as I possibly can, because the boy's going to catch me in the breaststroke. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you he's an outstanding backstroke, and that's probably why he's trying to push it and get as much as he can out of it. Always difficult, isn't it? Because if you're a stroke specialist, trying to push it to get as much as you can, much of a lead as you can, but at the same time, he's still got 100 breaststroke, 100 freestyle. He's not even halfway yet, so it's got that balance. Not easy to get right.
It's not easy to get right, no. And yeah, like so many of these boys also swum last night, you know, like Samuel Sterry, he came second in the 400 freestyle junior final last night, so he's recovering from that, recovering from the 400 IM this morning and getting back in to do it again.
Well, it's not easy. It looks like he has a decent breaststroke. The Leeds man in lane number 3, that yellow hat. Lovely, long, rangy stroke, but starting to catch him is Evan Davison. Excellent breaststroker he has in lane number 4. The rest of the field just trying to make a little bit of a move. A move often happens on the breaststroke. They're going to look how much of the lead has been eaten up on this first 50 of the 100 metres breaststroke. Wow. There's a huge gap after that 200, and now it's only 0.65 of a second. That's amazing. Very good first 50 from the red hat of Evan Davison of Perth City Swim Club.
Yeah, as you can still see, Daniel Ransom is still leading at the moment. You know, last year he came second in the 400 IM junior final. He's probably going into this junior final thinking to himself, I want a different colour medal this time. I want to be first.
I bet he is. And look at this, going through and overtaking. Well, that's an amazing breaststroke leg, Evan Davison. Dan Ransom, not dropped him yet, though. He's not left him. He's certainly going to be in the battle on this freestyle leg. 100 metres to go in the junior final, the men's 400 IM. And it's lane number 4. It's Evan Davison with that the red hat, and Dan Ransom of the City of Leeds. Great battle so far. It looks like Davison's freestyle a little bit quicker down this first 30 metres of the freestyle leg.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and it does say that Evan Davison has got history in freestyle. Last year he came 5th in the 200 freestyle junior final, so he has definitely got the energy and the speed in this freestyle to finish this fast. He's flying. Look at him on this last length. He looks as if he's speeding up.
Well, he certainly does, and if that's true, well, maybe he could have gone a little bit earlier, but looked very good indeed. Ransom in the yellow hat, the national age group 16-year-old champion on the 200 metres backstroke, but to the breaststroke and the freestyle of Evan Davison, very good indeed. Davidson of the Perth City Swim Club is going to win the junior final of the men's 400 metres individual medley. He does 4:25.22, new lifetime best for him, massive season's best as well. Great swimming from him, 4:25, and second is 4:27.22, and that's his first time under 30. He's gone 4:27. Well done. And Sam Sterry in third, his first time under 4:30 as well. In fact, he was 4:29.6 in the heat, so he's got another lifetime best, 2 in a day. Well done. What a junior final that was. First, second and third, PB, PB, PB in no particular order. That's fantastic. Davison, Ransom, Sterry, first, second and third. Excellent junior final men's 400 IM. And Betty talking to the superstar British 400 medley swimmer Max Litchfield after his heat this morning.
Max, we're in a new cycle after Paris, so where's your head at?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be back here swimming again. This pool's amazing. It's always nice to be here and swim fast, and yeah, it's good first event there for me, good first race. Pretty chill as 4 IM goes. yeah, see what we've got tonight. Hopefully a good little race with Charlie and some of the other boys coming through. So, yeah, should be good.
That does not look chill at all. That is not the word I'd use to describe it. What would a good British Championships be for you?
I think we just need to get on that team. That's the main goal. Whatever that comes out as is what it is, but we've just got to try and make that team. And obviously that starts with tonight and a good race. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think I was 4:16 here last year in the heats. So, we'll see what we've got tonight. And
good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, here's the men's 400 metres individual medley final, in which Max Litchfield, we just heard from there, is the fastest seed. He's the star of this show as well. I have to say, Charlie Hutchison this morning said he's going to try and have a crack at Max Litchfield. That's bold talking, got to say, very bold. So Hutchison will be in lane 5, Litchfield in 4. Here's Edward Marcel Whittles of Chelsea Westminster in lane number 1. 7th fastest seed for this final. Angus Allison, University of Stirling, goes in 7, with William Riley of Cardiff just outside him in lane 8. Saw him a second ago. James Froggatt of Birmingham goes in 2. 5th fastest seed into this final, the men's 400 IM. David Annis, 4th in. Another University of Stirling swimmer, 3 in this final, in lanes 3, 6 and 7. Now, George Smith, 3rd fastest in. The fastest of those 3 Stirling swimmers. And Charlie Hutchinson, well, we had him in the commentary box. There we go. It's got to work out which lane he's in. There you go, that helps. Get the right lane to start with. Well, he is psyched, isn't he? But this man, Max Litchfield, such a brilliant 400 medley swimmer. And so tough. He's been to each of the last 3 Olympic Games. He was 4th in Rio, 4th in Tokyo, and 4th in Paris. But so unlucky, particularly that race in Paris. It was a brilliant swim. Just happened to have 3 superstars go ahead of him, but so unlucky.
So unlucky, but I mean, 4th in the Olympics, that's phenomenal. 3 times, that's insane. Even just to go to the Olympics is insane.
Well, I can tell you that the British record is Max Litchfield's, his lifetime best 4:08.85. The consideration time, the qualification time for Singapore, it is a qualification time this year. If you win in the time you go, is 4:11.8. So 4:08.9, sorry, 4:08.8 is the lifetime best. 4:08.8 for Max Litchfield is his lifetime best, and 4:11.9 is the qualification time. And Charlie Hutchinson, I know in lane 5 is going to have a crack at that if he can, but he's got to drop 3 seconds on his lifetime best. He says he's been training harder, training differently. Let's see what he can do. He's in 5. Smith in 3, Annis in 6. It's all about Litchfield here, I think, for the gold. And can he pull Charlie Hutchinson through to that consideration time, the qualification time for Singapore this summer, World Championships?
Take your marks.
Men's 400 medley final. We've just seen a cracking women's 400 medley final, and looking forward to this one. Well, I wasn't quite sure who was going to win the previous one. I'm pretty sure who's going to win this one. It's just by how much. Max Litchfield. But having said that, Charlie Hutchison this morning said he wants to have a crack at him.
Yeah, definitely, and good for Charlie. And, you know, we say we're pretty sure who's going to win it, Max, but you never know, anything can happen in a race. Now that, you know, it's...
I know what you think. I know what you think. It's like, yeah, right. Anything can happen. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's one of those situations where you just don't quite know, do you? And when he's going for it, he's certainly going for it. Both of them, in fact. Watching the stroke very carefully of Max Litchfield in the centre, and Charlie Hutchinson. He is having a crack at him, but the butterfly leg here of Max Litchfield looking very good indeed. So it's Litchfield over first, 56.99, that's fast. 57.3 for Hutchinson. And I can tell you, Dan, that Hutchinson can go very quickly off that, and he's got a lovely backstroke. Look at that backstroke, beautiful.
Yeah, he's looking great. He's swimming really close to the lane rope. Maybe he's trying to catch the waves off Max, but, you know, to see those two go up the pool together, this is going to be a great race, Andy. I'm so excited. Let's see how they do in the second 50 on the backstroke. Who's got the best turn at the halfway mark in the backstroke?
Well, they were swimming quite close together down that first half of that first 50, but Charlie Hutchinson was right on the lane line, and on backstroke you do slightly wider pull, and you can actually touch the other swimmer. What a turn that was from Litchfield. Well, he went in behind and he's come up about 30-40 centimetres ahead. Amazing.
I mean, yeah, and obviously Max is unbelievable with the underwater work. He's had years of practice, so if anyone's going to get that right, it is Max.
Well, this is the halfway turn in this big final of the men's 400 medley. Litchfield over first, Charlie Hutchison second. And this is fascinating. It's a lot closer than I was expecting. Now, this is great news for Hutchison. I know that Max Litchfield would love to drag through Hutchison to that qualification time for Singapore and the World Championships, which are going to be held in Singapore in July and August this summer. But Litchfield looking very good indeed. Hutchison still going with him, though. This is fascinating.
Still going with him, still looking really strong. I really hope that he can hold on to Max for this second 50 off the breaststroke, because we know on the freestyle, Max is just going to charge. And Charlie, he needs to hold on to him because Max is not waiting.
Well, George Smith just in third place in lane number 3 with David Annis of Stirling in 6. He's 4th. But no doubt about the leader now, and he's an excellent freestyle swimmer as Max Litchfield, so I think it's going to be very tough now for Charlie Hutchison to catch him. I mean, he doesn't need to do that, he just needs to look at the time. 4:11.90 is the time that they're looking for at the 400 metres mark. 4:11.9. Oh, he's going to have to go sub-60. He's going to have to go about 58 or so if he's going to make the time here. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that, Charlie Hutchinson. That's very fast indeed. It's not impossible, though.
It's not impossible, and look at him. He looks as if he's just dived in for a 100-metre sprint. I don't know about you, Andy. I kind of just want to shout for him. I know we can't because we're live, but I just want to cheer him on.
You're very welcome to put the microphone down and do it. We were just giving him a good old wave as he's just swum past us, and he looks pretty fresh here. He's got a chance. Litchfield's got about a 3-metre lead over Charlie Hutchinson. Lane 4 from lane 5. Coming in third position at the moment in lane 3, it's still George Smith with Annis in 4th, but no doubt about the leader. 4th place in the last three Olympic Games is Max Litchfield, the Commonwealth record holder. This is a very good swim indeed. An outstanding swim from Litchfield. Great fly. Led for most of the backstroke leg, but then really took it on the breaststroke and the freestyle. 4:11.90 is the time they're looking for. 4:11.9, 4:11.59. He's done it. An excellent swim from Max Litchfield, and he books a ticket to Singapore and the World Championships later on this summer. 2025 Aquatics GB champion on the men's 400 medley is Max Litchfield of Loughborough Performance. Charlie Hutchinson, excellent swim for him in 2nd place, you know. Right on his lifetime best, 4:14.90 his lifetime best. Brilliant swim from him. And in 3rd place, George Smith of Stirling University, 4:18.4. Really good from him too, but what a race. Look at that. Oh, great characters.
Yeah, you know, Charlie just missed out on that time, but as you can see, a big thumbs up to his family or friends or whoever's in the crowd. He looks so happy. That was such a gutsy swim from him. You know, he held on to Max as long as he could. Max, well, I mean, he went under the qualification time. He's on the plane to Singapore, and I couldn't think of anyone who deserves it better. Well done, Max.
Well, that's great, and Dave Hemmings having a very good meet here. The Loughborough Performance Centre coach. 1st and 2nd on the women's 400 medley, now 1st on the men's 400 IM. And Freya Colbert, of course, winning that 200 metres freestyle, and a couple of his swimmers in that 4x2 free. But what a great swim for Max Litchfield. He's booked himself a ticket to Singapore for the World Championships this summer, underneath that qualification time of 4:11.90. And he wins the 400 medley, and he's now talking to Betty Glover.
What a race that was, and what a swim that was. Max, you said before that you wanted, job done, get that ticket to Singapore. Well, you've done it, and in some style as well.
Yeah, exactly, thank you. Yeah, no, like I said this morning, I just wanted to dip into that time and get myself on the plane to Singapore. I've done that. I would like to be a little bit quicker tonight, but again, it's good, and we can move that on into the summer.
How did it feel out there, and what was your tactic?
Just same as always, get out there nice and fast but easy, and then bring it home. I felt a bit weak on the freestyle compared to normal, but you know, we've got a lot to work on and lots to move forward towards summer.
All right, well done, congratulations. And Charlie, I just want to speak to you because that was a brilliant swim, really fast swim. You just were under that time, but I imagine you learnt so much out there.
Yeah, I learned I need to swim a bit faster if I want to make worlds.
Do you want to take the mic?
Oh yeah, go on then. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was quite happy. I wanted to stick to Max a little bit closer, like I said on the interview this morning, but he's just too good, isn't he? He just dropped me. My breaststroke needs a bit of work, but maybe next time I'll make the thing. But I've got under 23s maybe or World Junior Games, so there's plenty more opportunity this season. I also want to say a big thank you to Finnis for my suits and Rich Denigan for all the hard work we've done this season. So thank you very much.
Going to have to take that mic off you. You're going to be taking my job. Congratulations to George as well. Everyone, give it up.
I tell you what, he's got a future in media, hasn't he? Maybe a stand-up comedian, I don't know. He's a card, isn't he? We had him come in the commentary box this morning just to have a chat with us about how he'd swum. The next race was going. Who started commentating? He started going lane 4 and lane 5. Brilliant. What a lovely guy. Great fun. There he is. So George Smith getting the bronze on that 400 medley. And the silver to Charlie Hutchinson. And the medals being handed out by Max's girlfriend, Emma Hope. There she is. Oh, give her a kiss. Oh, hey. There you go. Live on national television. Fantastic. What a 400 medley swimmer that guy is in the middle. Absolutely outstanding. Last 3 consecutive Olympic Games in the final came forward. Brilliant. I used to say he won't be going to LA and oh, wouldn't it be great to see him go one better?
4 Olympic Games under your belt. Not something to be proud of. And the way he's swimming there, he's well on his way.
And bronze, it's not impossible.
Definitely not impossible. Nothing is impossible. If you've got a lane, you've got a chance.
Well, there we go. Straight into the next race up. It is the women's 100 metres backstroke junior final. Ella Justice of Mount Kelly's the fastest seed. And her time this morning, 63.06. New lifetime best from her. That's just that Charlie Hutchinson go through. He wants to join us in the commentary box. He's talking about what he's done. Hilarious. So here we go. This is the junior final women's 100 backstroke. Whitney in 1, Wood in 2, Evangeline Pierce in 3, Ella Justice in 4, the fastest seed. 5 is Isabel Liptrot. 6, Fenella Woodies of Repton. 7 is Amber Rigg of Dumfries, and 8, Annabelle Crease, also of Repton. 2 next backstroke, the junior final. Lifetime bests all over the pool this morning to qualify for this junior final. Let's see what they can do. See if we can have a 62. That would be pretty special, wouldn't it? 62.4 is the European junior consideration time. 62.41. Excellent start, really high, beautiful arch from lane number 4. That was Ella Justice. Oh, you get a photograph of that, it would look fantastic. Justice in 4 for Mount Kelly. Nice high head position, really clean, beautiful backstroke. Just make sure she doesn't hit the lane line. She's right on it there in lane 4. Very good start down this first 35.
Very, very good start from her. You know, as Hannah said, the ceiling isn't exactly the easiest to follow in this pool. So that is why some of them are staying quite close to the lane line. You know, we've just seen the first turn now. How are they coming out? Very, very good underwater. Again, as we've said many times, the longer you take underwater, the more streamlined you are, ultimately the faster that you go.
Well, this is very good. Also coming back is Fenella Woodies in lane number 6 for Repton. She's starting to overtake. In fact, this second 50, very good from Fenella in lane 6 from Repton. Really good. Goodness me. Well, her entry time, qualification time, 1:03.48. She's just gone 1:02.7. Wow. What is that? 0.7 of a second faster than she went this morning. That's very, very good indeed. Super swim from the Repton swimmer. Well done, Fenella. Second was Ella Justice of Mount Kelly. Third, Evangeline Pierce of Basildon and Phoenix. But what a swim that was from lane number 6. Super second 50.
Super second 50, and her finish was fantastic. the aim of a backstroke finish is, obviously you've got to stretch as far as you can, but you can have all of your body underwater as long as there's a little piece of your body above the water. Usually backstrokers flick their foot up just so that's out of the water, but she had the best finish there, and I think that's why she won that.
Really powerful swimmer as well. That was a great swim. Really was. Well, she's not even 16 yet, still 15 years of age. 16 on the 25th of this month. So a couple of weeks' time. Well, the junior finals now gone. Now it is the para-final of this women's 100 metres backstroke, and delighted to be joined again by Paul Noble. And this is a pretty full event, this one. Pretty full race.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Scarlett Humphrey coming out there. She's an S11 swimmer with no vision. She's wearing blacked-out goggles, so she has the tappers at either end of the pool to let her know where the finish and the turn is. And there's Brooklyn Hale. Well, one of the young swimmers, Megan Willis, represented Wales in the Commonwealth Games back in 2022. Astrid Carroll, the visually impaired swimmer, swimming for Stockport Metro, one that's coming through the ranks very quickly. Astrid Carroll, as is Ella Letton-Jones. Astrid Carroll, Ella Letton-Jones, both in the same classification, the S12 class. Amber Haycock from Northampton went to European Championships last year for the GB team. But the big two in the middle in the S14 class, the Paralympic champion, 3 times a Paralympic champion in Paris, Poppy Maskell, and Georgia Sheffield next to her, a World Championship bronze medalist. They're both in the S14 class. It'll be a head-to-head for these two. This is a big chance for Georgia Sheffield to claim a time, see if she can go to Singapore. That time they're looking for, the S14s, is 107.01. There's a lineup. There's the classifications of the swimmers. Remember, S1 to 10, those are physical impairments. S11 to 13, those are visual impairments. And the two in the middle, the S14 swimmers with the intellectual impairments. This could be a real head-to-head. The medals will be decided on points. All the times for the swimmers will be compared against the world record standard time for their own classifications, and that will generate a points total. 1,000 points equivalent to a world record swimming. Maskell and Sheffield in the centre lane. It is all about points. I think they are going to be the favourites, I think, in terms of points. Both of them in the 850 points range. It's all about times now for these two in the centre lane. Georgia Sheffield going well in the early stages, just ahead of Poppy Maskell. Poppy's already got a Singapore qualification standard yesterday in the 200 freestyle. She'd love another one though in this one of her signature events, but Georgia Sheffield, got to think this is a massive chance for her, gone out in 32.01. We'll keep a watch on Scarlett Humphrey going over now, just a tapping it right at the very bottom of your picture there. She's a British record holder, so we'll come back to her time. But here's the head-to-head in the centre of the pool. Georgia Sheffield and Poppy Maskell. Poppy Maskell going really well, looking really, really strong. And Georgia Sheffield has got to try and hold on now. 107.01 is the target they are looking for. I think Maskell's going to be inside that one. She is. And is Sheffield? She is. 2 swimmers inside the qualification standards. And Georgia Sheffield and Poppy Maskell will be absolutely delighted with that one. They are in the 900-point range. Scarlett Humphrey finishes now just outside her own British record by around about a second in the S11 class for 702 points. But look at that, Georgia Sheffield and Poppy Maskell. That was fantastic swimming there from those two. And they are both inside that Singapore qualification standard. They will be absolutely over the moon with that one. Well, we'll tidy up that result. Again, Scarlett Humphrey will be wearing blacked out goggles. They will have to be checked before the result is made official. Astrid Carroll and Ella Letton-Jones had a good tussle, the two S12s. And as they come into the finish, Poppy Maskell really strong in the closing stages. She's coming back to some form, and there's the smiles from the two swimmers that have achieved that qualification standard. There's Scarlett Humphrey. It was a good swim from Scarlett. She's on good form. 121 was her British record. She's got 122 this morning. Poppy Maskell, though, will take the win in terms of points. 954 points ahead of Georgia Sheffield, 920, with Ella Letton-Jones. A good swim from the visually impaired swimmer in the S12 class. 796, or anything approaching that 800 points range is getting towards world class, and the 2 in the 900 range, fantastic. But let's go down to Betty, who's talking to the medalists.
What a race that was, everybody. Give it up for our medalists. Poppy Marshall, I'm going to come and speak to you because you've got yourself another gold medal after yesterday, but you've also made that time for Singapore, so you've put yourself in a brilliant position. How did it feel for you out there?
Really hard. But I'm really happy with that time, so it's good.
You must be thrilled. What was going through your mind when you were swimming that?
Not a lot. They really hurt.
Well, you did an absolutely amazing job. Congratulations. Georgia, you also got under that time that you needed to get, so you must be so pleased with yourself.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you?
Hard.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Everyone, give it up for our medalists.
Well, going to the medal ceremony now. And these two delighted swimmers, they all I think that's the theme of the night. How's this? Swim's been very hard. That's what it should be, I suppose. It's hard to make these. Well, Ella Letton-Jones, a bronze medal at the British Championships. She'll be absolutely delighted. I haven't seen the last of Ella Letton-Jones. She was great last year. And the 100 backstroke is certainly a focus event for her. Georgia Sheffield. Oh, you kind of thought she might have had to do it tonight, and she absolutely delivered. And she's behind the Paralympic champion, but not by much. Poppy Maskell takes another title here in London. 2 golds in 2 days for Poppy Maskell, and she gains another Singapore time, as does Georgia Sheffield. They go off all smiles for the winners. Good swim from Ella Letton-Jones as well. Look forward to seeing her in the future, improving that time and getting closer to those qualification standards for the senior team.
This is the women's 100 meters backstroke final. In ladies, representing Swansea University, Rebecca.
Well, the para-athletes, quite something special. Poppy Maskell's final 25 there. What a superstar she is. Now we have the women's 100 metres backstroke final. Katie Shanahan, the fastest seed. She's going in lane 4 with Lauren Cox in 5. Annie Osrin going in lane number 1. Here's Neem Ward in 7. Becca Sutton of Swansea, just 1 lane outside of her in lane 8. Kathleen Dawson, here she is. Olympic champion. She was leading off that mixed medley relay in Tokyo. Ended up getting a world record. That's a brilliant relay that was. Clive Kinsman in 6. And then next to Kathleen Dawson, Holly McGill. Holly McGill from Stirling. From Loughborough Performance Centre, Lauren Cox goes in lane number 5. Lanes 3 and 4 setting lifetime best to qualify for this final. Holly McGill in 3. And here Katie Shanahan. 2 University of Stirling swimmers next to each other. In fact, 2, 3 and 4 University of Stirling. What a final. Well, it's going to be quite hard to call this, I think, Dan. In 2 is Dawson, 3 McGill, Shanahan in 4, Cox in 5, Kinsman 6.
Yeah, I think so. And Holly McGill came 7th in this final last year. Let's see if she can do something amazing in this.
Oh, see, it's pretty wide open. Katie Shanahan dropped the 400 medley to focus on this 100 metres backstroke. Lauren Cox, well, on her best form, very quick, sub-60. One of 2 swimmers who've gone sub-60. The British record holder is in lane 2. That's Kathleen Dawson. led off the mixed medley relay in Paris in that Olympic final. Gold in Tokyo. The final women's 100 metres backstroke, the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Very good start underwater, particularly in lane number 2. Catherine Dawson using 14.5 of that 15 metres underwater that she's allowed, but really quick up to a stroke, as expected. Lauren Cox in 5.
Absolutely, Lauren is a world medalist in the 50 backstroke. Obviously, she won a silver in this event last year. Can she win a gold? Let's see after this first turn how she's going along.
Well, 29.16 is quick to 50 to her feet. Blythe Kinsman second in lane 6. Shanahan third in 4, and Shanahan will come back in 4. This is very interesting. Shanahan's really charging.
4 and 5. They are fighting every stroke. I genuinely, Andy, at this point, I don't know who's going to win this.
Well, it is at the moment Shanahan in 4 with Cox in 5. These two black hats in the centre have no idea who's going to get it. It looks like maybe Shanahan. Who's going to get the arm over first? It's Shanahan. Shanahan gets it. 60.03. A great swim from her. A new lifetime best. The second time she swam a lifetime best today in the 100 metres backstroke. 60.6 this morning in the heat, and she's just gone and done 60.03. So close to going under 60 seconds. The silver to Lauren Cox and the bronze to Holly McGill, with Blythe Kinsman just back in 4th, only just by 1/10 of a second from Mount Kelly. Very good swim from her. Dawson 5th, Osborne 6th, Ward 7th and Sutton 8th. Wow, Katie Shanahan second 50. Gracious me.
Yeah, I know. Again, there's been a few times this evening when I just want to turn my mic off and shout for the girls. I get so excited. I'm so into it, honestly. But those 3 girls, Katie, Lauren and Holly, really fought it out, especially in that last 25. 100 backstroke, I know you've got as much, you can breathe in as much oxygen as you want, but it's so much harder than you realise.
Well, it's very difficult to get an awful lot in as well, with those arms going over and over and over, but there we go. Well, in the end, she won it by, what, 0.46. Katie Shanahan, the new champion on the women's 100 metres backstroke. Wonderful. And she's now talking to Betty Glover.
Wow, what a race that was. We've got to speak to our gold medalist, Katie Shanahan. That's your second PB today. You must have enjoyed yourself out there.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I knew I was in good shape coming into tonight, and I just wanted to give it my best. And, you know, racing Lauren and all the other girls, I knew it was going to be a really close race, and, you know, to nearly dip under that 60 mark there, I'm just really happy with that.
You surprised yourself this morning, you told me. Did you surprise yourself just then as well?
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't expecting to go that fast coming into this meet, especially in the 100. My focus has been in the 200, so, you know, it's looking good for that later on in the week. So.
And you've opted to do this instead of the 400 IM, which you usually do. What's the reasoning behind that?
I think for the past few years I've just not really been enjoying the 4am as I used to, and, you know, I'm happy that I chose to do that. I was a lot more relaxed coming into the meet, and it's good to know that it's kind of paid off, that I've been focusing on my backstroke and not the 4am, so, yeah.
Kind of paid off. It's certainly paid off. For the final time tonight, everybody, give it up for our medalists.
Well, it was a cracking swim, really was. Katie Shanahan, champion of the women's 100 metres backstroke. The silver to Lauren Cox, 0.46 of a second behind, and Holly McGill very close to her in the bronze medal position, but just 21/100ths behind. And Georgia Davis presenting the prizes. Commonwealth gold medalist, European record holder on the 50 metres backstroke. And these women will know her very well indeed. A lovely smile. And a silver to Lauren Cox after the bronze to Holly McGill. And no doubts about the winner, second 50, outstanding. Katie Shanahan dropped the 400 medley to do a fun event, the 100 metres backstroke, and it really has paid off. 1 gold and 60.03. Well, that's a proper time, and if she can just go 4 100ths faster than that, she'll go a 59.9. And that gets very, very serious. Super swim. Wow. Well, what a fantastic evening we've had. That's been really brilliant. Night 2. And it's probably exhausting. The race is coming thick and fast, but some more brilliant swimming tomorrow, the next 4 days. But to wrap up this evening's swimming, we've got Betty and Dan in the studio. Really looking forward to hearing what they have to say.
Thank you, Andy. Brilliant work. What an evening of swimming we have just witnessed, Dan Jervis. I love how Katie Shanahan there said it kind of paid off, focusing on that. I mean, I'd say, Katie, that has really, really paid off. It couldn't have gone any better.
She couldn't have had a better colour medal, you know. It couldn't have gone better. No, she won it.
Yeah, two PBs in one day is really good. I know she didn't quite make that time for Singapore, but to make 2 PBs in one day is incredibly impressive, isn't it?
Incredible. She's obviously doing something right in training, and if I got any advice to Katie, it would just be carry on doing what you're doing. You're looking amazing in the water. I'm so excited to see what she can do in the future.
Yeah, me too. What else sort of caught your eye today? Because there's some brilliant racing. I mean, Max Litchfield never disappoints, does he?
Never. Max is such an impressive athlete, and obviously all the swimmers in that race was amazing. But do you know what I found tonight? I just wanted to turn my mic off and shout. Because usually I'm used to stand on poolside and shouting as loud as I want to. Well, tonight I had to sit there really quiet and kind of really reserved. Now and again I'd give a little wave, but honestly it was so impressive. I saw you every now and then give you a wave, and I just thought, do you know what, they can't see you. Or can they? Well, you can kind of see it. I couldn't really see it. No, I was too busy listening to my heartbeat.
Your heartbeat? Or singing songs to yourself in your head. Exactly. That's the one. We've got to talk about Duncan Scott as well, because, I mean, he's unbelievable. And after heats this morning, I spoke to him and he just went, oh, not really happy with that. Didn't go as fast as I perhaps wanted to go. And then out there, he just smashed it. And I keep saying this about him, but he just makes it look so easy.
He does. I mean, I guess that's the job. That's our job. You know, we train as hard as we possibly can for all year, and we just make it look easy, or they now make it look easy, you know, and he really does. And I loved Duncan's honesty. He was like, you asked him, did you expect to do that? And he was like, yeah, I did.
I mean, that is probably quite a bad question to ask, don't you think? But anyway, and I also asked him, will you be doing that in Singapore? And he said he hopes not. Is that true?
Yeah, I think he's very honest, so I'd listen to what he said there. But, you know, like a swim like that, if I was Duncan, I probably would do it. But he's going to have a very full schedule in Singapore, so he's going to have to prioritise certain races. And if that's not one of his priorities, then don't do it.
And I guess he's doing that just so he can get stronger in that stroke as well. Another brilliant night for Poppy Maskell as well.
Fantastic. You know, she's always fantastic to watch, and she's a pleasure to watch swim, honestly. Easy to commentate on as well.
Oh, and Abby Wood in the 400 IM.
Yeah, I know. I mean, her breaststroke is fantastic, but that's another race where I wanted to turn the mic off and just shout. You know, I could see Freya every stroke catching her on that last 25, and the atmosphere in this room was amazing. It was so exciting, but I was so happy for Abby and Freya. It's
quite good that they've got that competition between each other. They train together, but that must push them on that little extra bit.
Absolutely, because as you said, they train together. They are teammates and they're friends, so they're in that atmosphere every day. And I just have to point out how nice Freya's interview was to Abby. The way she spoke, that is true sportsmanship. That is what you want on the world level.
It certainly is. Well, Dan, thank you so much for all of your hard work today. It is very hot and sweaty in here, isn't it? So we're going to go and we're going to have a lovely shower. Not together, just individually. Thank you so much for joining us today on day 2. We're going to be back for day 3, and there is so much to get stuck into. I can't wait. Can you wait?
I can't wait.
Well, we're going to be back anyway. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later.